Some of you have noticed that the initiative has not debated anyone in a while. In the interest of transparency, we now reveal the reason for this. Recently, we were challenged by a detractor. It didn't go well. Now, released publicly for the first time, is that very debate, unedited, uncensored, and an unmistakable L on our part.
PPLittle.com. Hi, I'm PP Little, the anti-woke warrior, and today I'm debating Dane of Actual Fandom.
Hey, PP, big fan.
I bet you are. And joining him today is Turf Nation.
Hey guys.
And fine.
Sorry, I have to go.
Is DJ showing up?
Sorry, PP, DJ couldn't make it.
Oh, thank fucking Christ. And finally, we have from Organized Chaos, Bob Chaos.
Hey, thanks for having me here.
Shut up, Bob.
Whoa, too far, PP.
Yeah, I'll take that from Dane and my boys and my whores, but not from you.
Oh, yeah? What now, Bob?
Okay.
Huzzah! You have fallen for my trap. You have accepted money, making you a grifter.
Objectively?
By definition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, you guys are used to taking money, you shills. You fell for my trap. I laid it out perfectly.
Sure you did, PP. Are we going to debate or what?
Yes, of course. Now, I have a very simple question to ask you guys.
Sure you do.
What's wrong with being white? Would you be laughing if I asked what was wrong with being black?
Who said there was anything wrong with either?
You guys did.
When?
Well, when...
PP, we are white.
You sure as hell don't act like it.
And how should white people act?
Oh, like this.
Get out of here!
You see, like that.
Whoa, dude, are you saying that all white people are racist?
Hey, I watch Eric July.
So?
He says all the things that I can't.
Why not?
Because then I'd be called a racist.
By who?
The people whose lives don't matter.
Whoa, what exactly do you mean by that?
If you were a proper white man, you would know.
Guess I'm not a proper white man.
Ha! I got you again. Now, Bob, you aren't bothered by the Black Mermaid, so why do you support white genocide?
He says you paid him $50 to shut up, and he's going to need double to keep talking.
That's bad faith.
That's capitalism. We can keep talking, PP. I'm really triggered by your just...
Shut up, Dane! Oh, shit. $100 to get me to talk to.
Thanks, PP.
Thanks, man. Thank you.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't be paying if I wasn't winning.
You call this winning?
Now who's moving the goalpost, Dane? You're bad faith.
Here we go again.
You just did something you criticize others for doing. That's the definition of bad faith. Bad faith.
PP, please.
Spell it.
Aw, screw you, dude.
You see, you can't even spell it. I doubt you know what it means.
I'll tell you what bad faith means. Girl, did you hear what Rachel Ziegler said?
That doesn't answer the question. Either spell it or say what it means.
Okay. I'll tell you what bad faith means. Dane, early in the initiative, you accidentally misspelled it as the initiative in one of your first episodes. And Bob, you can be really condescending sometimes. Hey, that's not funny. You guys are both hypocrites. Nobody knows what it's like to be a PP. Now, Bob, I don't know who you are. I've never seen your content before. I don't even know what's going on most of the time. But I can tell that Dane and the initiative are holding you back.
I get that a lot. It's funny, though, because it comes from people in chat who have never seen my stuff.
If you'd stop banning me, I wouldn't have to make so many accounts.
How many accounts do you have?
As many as I need to keep the loneliness away.
Damn, PP. That's really sad.
It ain't easy being PP. She hates me, man.
Who hates you?
Princess Peach.
Princess Peach?
I think he's talking about the part in the trailer where she kicked
Kick
the umbrella
up in the Mario trailer. See, I'm not the only one. Nintendo hates men. Woke.
Are you okay, PP?
I watch Geeks and Gamers, Dane. You think I have much to offer women? I can hold stuff. Umbrellas, the black round-rimmed glasses their boyfriends take off before sex so they don't get foggy. That's it.
Those glasses do look familiar.
Now the feminazis are saying it's sexist to hold umbrellas for women.
There's nothing feminist about umbrellas, PP.
Politics is downstream from culture, Dane. Princess Peach hates men. Geeks and Gamers told me so.
Damn, PP. You got issues.
PP issues.
Hey, DJ.
Bob, shut up. Hey, PP, love your channel. It's the coolest channel on YouTube. Make sure to subscribe to Pop Counter Culture for more PP Little. Hit the like bell, subscribe, and say hi in the comments while you're at it. Pew, pew.
DJ.
I was listening to you guys, and I have something to say.
Ah, fuck. Okay, DJ, shoot.
I'm not even going to touch the whole proper white man stuff. That is just fucked up, and you know it.
Woke.
The one thing that really stood out to me was that whole Princess Peach thing.
Groomer.
I mean, do you hear yourself at all? The whole plot of that movie is that Mario saves Luigi, 2 men. If she hated men or whatever, why would she help in saving them?
What about Bowser, huh? They made the villain a traditional alpha male.
PP, he holds Luigi ransom to pressure Peach into a marriage she doesn't want. Do you call that traditional? He was created in the 80s when no one thought twice, 3 times, 4 times from making Bowser the villain just for kidnapping. Was it woke then? At least the movie elevates what makes him a villain to kidnap, ransom, and basically forcing a woman.
Whoa.
Holy shit, PP.
Bad faith.
Triggered?
Shut up, Bob. Your voice is annoying. Bad faith, bad faith. I'm not going to talk to people who are so obviously in bad faith. I'm built like a goddamn brick, a little brick. That's all for today, everyone. Stay angry. It pays my bills. I won this debate. PP Little out.
All right. Well, it is what it is. All right.
Ew, booger.
That's cool, bro.
We're really not affiliated with Geeks and Gamers as far as I'm concerned. I really just want to make that clear.
Morales has his own background.
I love the last show.
I love the last show.
We're about inclusiveness and we want new people in.
The Fandom Initiative.
Every conceivable opportunity so you can encourage data.
How do you do, fellow kids?
Re-educate me? They're more than welcome to try.
Hey, everybody.
Hello.
Huh? What? Are we talking now? What?
Yeah, we're talking. Nobody
Okay.
warned me that we were talking.
God damn it.
So,
I
yeah,
thought this was going to be one of those streams where we just stare at each other awkwardly. Fuck.
So, how are you guys feeling after that absolute destruction of the initiative?
I honestly want
I-
to cancel. Can we just cancel this? Because, like, how are we supposed to show our faces?
My
Yeah.
ego is devastated. I'm just down in the dumps. He wrecked us, guys. I have to tell you. Holy shit. Massive intellect.
He even killed my dog before that. That was insane.
He should change his name. He should change his name to PP Big after that one. That was
Yeah,
pretty.
he evolved.
I think the little thing, I think that has more to do with how he sees himself, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, it's not really a size, it's just like he doesn't see himself as a PP Big.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It's a confidence thing.
Yeah.
So this is the first one, I guess, that's officially titled that, like in the intro and stuff. I think we kind of announced that's what we were doing last week. So yeah. All right. Well, shit. How you guys doing?
It's Halloween.
Woo!
Yeah.
Spooky
Couple
season.
days.
Spooky season.
I've got
Man,
my
this-
costume all ready for Halloween weekend. So
What are you?
I'm going as Beach Ken. So
Oh damn.
Nice.
yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah. Bob, I see you're wearing yours. It's really scary.
Yes, I'm going as a Cure fan. It's gonna be devastating. No, I
real monsters.
I don't have my
there.
kids this year, so I just brought back my Fourth Doctor costume because it's a good costume.
Fair.
Yeah, by the way, that is a really funny sketch, and that's just all on Ed Pop Counterculture, who's linked below. You should subscribe to him, and he loves doing that stuff. He's really glad that people have taken a liking to PP Little. All my homies are down with the PP, you know.
Yeah, I love his PP.
Who doesn't love PP? Who doesn't love?
No, what I love about that sketch is like. I felt like me and Bob and Turf did a pretty good job, like because we all filmed our part at the same time, kind of thing. Or well, I guess same time, pretty much.
Yeah.
And then DJ comes in and does his, and it's like, oh man, fucking so good. Like you can tell who's the one that's been like working a camera for years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He deleted me quickly though. I was out. I came in and he immediately was like, "No, fuck this guy." And no, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I appreciated the dialogue. He sent me a message. I haven't responded yet, but he did send me a message. I think it might have been yesterday. Sort of saying sorry for all the dialogue. I had a lot to learn in a short amount of time, but I tried to kill it. I tried to kill it as best I could. So
no, I was impressed how quickly you were able to read it off and not look like you're reading it off. My shit looks like I'm reading.
Well, I mean, and then like you were like doing multiple. You would like do a take and then do another. Let me try it like this, and it's like, wow, this guy's like basically. Did you take acting or anything? Were you
no,
theater kid? Wow,
it's all just from doing YouTube videos.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
I mean, I was struggling with my amount of lines, so I don't know how you guys did it.
I sort of got to a point where I'm like, I'm going to say it the way I would say it. I'm going to do the line, but I'm going to say it like in my style. And so that's why, I was like, what is he trying to convey here? And then I'm just going to do it the way I want to do it. Because that's what I do. I just do what the fuck I want most of the time. So
that's all you got to do. I think that's what he wanted. Oh, look at this guy right here. Thank you guys for putting up with PP despite his obvious victory. He's been seething for a week. Yeah.
Yeah. What's up with that? He destroyed us. He won.
Coping and seething, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hilarious. His editing was great, by the way. That was a great job. I thought it was amazing. Good job.
Very well done.
Over there, PP.
Yeah, there is kind of a magic when you just film all these like desperate parts and then like they get put together and like it's a cohesive thing and then it's like
I think you should turn it into like a streaming service and then grift off of that, sell it as a it makes shows like this on for streaming.
Well, so we're going to be doing some horror villain monster. What's the word we're going with? Look, and this is just me, but I feel like we're going to have to define some parameters of like how we're ranking these things, right? Like what?
Yeah,
I guess we'll get into that as we go, but like, we got a couple of things to cover first, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, as a trailer, it's like a tier list of horror villains / killers / guys. You know, like guys as in everyone, just the main person from horror movies, the thing you think about. You know.
Okay.
That's preferably on the evil side.
I do think about the thing quite a bit.
Like horror icons, basically.
Yeah, that's what I've gone for. And there's around 54 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, so it'll be a long night.
We're gonna be here a while, folks.
This will be the objective list.
Yeah, this is the objective list, the best one. And
yeah, our debates are always objective and our rankings are always objective. So that's just because we said so.
Yeah.
You know.
And there's definitely going to be someone who's like, oh, you forgot wishy-washy from the Google, you know, and
wishy-washy's a good one.
Yeah, and you know what, it's I've not gotten everyone, but there's a good selection, so we'll have fun with it.
Did you get the STD ghosts from It Follows? Because that was really freaky. Okay,
I even tested it out myself.
That is a freaky one. I didn't even think about that one.
If I can get away from the STD ghost.
I guess real quick before we dive into that, do we want to hit up some quick strike news?
I mean, we might as well, right?
Unfortunately, Turf and I were not available at the meeting, so this is all like just coming at us hard and fast.
Yeah. Well, here's a couple things to go over. Nothing huge, but like there was some strike stuff. The one thing that came out that I thought was weird. So I think Fran Drescher's been fairly based during this whole period. Not perfect, but fairly based. She's had some good points. But they released this SAG after Halloween guidelines, and I don't like them.
I don't either.
It's dumb. So essentially, what they've decided to do is say, if you're a member, do not go dressed as anything from struck material. And I'm like, can people just go out and have fun for like a night or even a week and not have to worry about this strike? Just go to your parties, have fun. Like I said, I think Fran Drescher's been pretty based, but these rules Just let people have fun. I'm
You
sorry.
know what I think this is about? Maybe I'm completely wrong here, so tell me if I'm wrong, please. I think they're worried that someone who is in a movie will dress up as their character and that will be considered promoting. That's what
Yeah,
I think they're worried about. And I don't think she wants to nitpick and say, oh, you can't do this movie, you can't do this show. So they're just doing this blanket statement. But it's dumb because it's Halloween. Like, no one is going to take any of that seriously as them trying to promote a movie or TV show. But I think this is her making the mistake of trying to please everybody by doing something so broad, like a complete swipe on everything, and it's just not working. I mean, I've seen people, actors, I think Ryan Reynolds spoke out about this. There were a couple other people that spoke out about it, because they have kids and stuff. Their kids should not have to abide by strike rules. What are they going to do? Go out to their parents and their parents tell them, oh, you can't wear that suit because that's what I wear in a movie. You can't be, Deadpool or anything like that. Like, what are you supposed to do with this?
This makes unions look so fucking uncool. Like,
I know. And
people on the outside are like, come on, really?
Yeah, no, it's not a good look. And again, like, it's just like, it's Halloween. Can't Halloween just be immune from the strike? Let's just make a general rule and say, like, unless it's something extreme, holidays and strikes just don't go together. Just pretend like they don't exist.
How about just don't if you're gonna dress as something, don't promote the thing that's you're not supposed to promote. Like, that's just the rule anyway. So like, just fucking leave the costume thing alone.
Well, it says here, dress up as characters from non-struck content like an animated TV show. Aren't those voice actors? Aren't they part of the Actors Guild? Usually some voice actors are actors. So wouldn't that still be considered struck material?
It varies from material to material. I've seen.
I mean, for example,
Twitter
if Ryan Reynolds does a voice acting of Deadpool in a Disney thing or something like that, isn't that essentially the same thing as him being Deadpool in like a live action movie? I feel like it falls in the same category.
I mean,
it gets dumb really fast.
I think so.
I that's why I say, listen, just people should just go out, enjoy their parties. Just
choose costumes inspired by generalized characters like ghost, zombie, spider. So if I dress up as a ghost for Halloween and it happens to look like a ghost from like Ghostbusters, is that me violating strike guidelines or something? This is so fucking stupid. Look, I've been very supportive of SAG and I support everything they're trying to do. I feel like this is just this is a shift in the way they've done stuff, and I think this one I think is this is going to divide some people in support of the strike, and this is why they shouldn't have came out. Honestly.
No,
this is an L.
Yeah, for me, it's one of those things where I think that I'm like, okay, well, I can understand maybe not wanting Ryan Gosling going out as Ken, but then then you get into nuances of like, oh, you shouldn't do this, but you can do this, and it gets all tricky, and it gets to a point where essentially gets to where I just say, fuck it. I don't care.
Another thing is that I don't know actors that dress up as their character. It doesn't happen usually. Like, actors don't typically wear the suits from like, they might dress up as a friend's character from a movie, but it's never their character.
Or you see like their kids being their character.
Right.
Yeah. But like, I've never looked at like a celebrity walking with their child who's dressed up as like Superman or something and thought, that's good promotion for Superman.
Right.
It's just Halloween,
Yeah. Well, you brought up a good point here, Devi. Fran Drescher should be fired from SAG-AFTRA president, replaced by George Clooney. Well, we're about ready to get to George Clooney because his thing's fucking weird too.
Yeah.
So we can break into that real fast here, and then we'll get to the tier list, guys. Not too much longer. We're almost there. So George Clooney has a proposal to end the SAG-AFTRA strike. Essentially, like, here's a list. It's a whole bunch of A-listers. George Clooney, Ben Affleck, and Scarlett Johansson have proposed they eliminate the caps on their dues. So essentially, like, usually there's when they're in their upper range, like they do, they pay off a percentage of their fees to SAG-AFTRA up to a certain amount, and they're saying get rid of that cap, and we'll pay extra to SAG-AFTRA. And in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, that's kind of base. That could help people out, like especially people on the lower end. Okay, but they're using this as a proposal to end the strike, which doesn't work because, like, number one, like, compared to like David Zaslav and Bob Iger, like I'm George Clooney, Ben Affleck, Scarlett Johansson, they're doing well. They're nothing compared to those people. Like nothing. It's just, it comes off kind of like these people are very well off and they think, oh, you know, I'll pay a bit more. And, you know, like the thought is nice, but like it's not remotely what's needed. And it just
it's like lack of understanding of like the difference between being like multimillionaires and being like multi-billionaires.
Yes.
Right? Like these people,
massively.
sure they could do something, right? Like if they paid more, right, it would help people. But like these big studios like Disney and shit, their billions like actually affect like big things, right? Like they can truly change like the whole field of being an actor, you know?
Yep.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, like it just it comes off very like they think they like listen, these people are very well off. They are the upper end of SAG-AFTRA. But keep in mind, like they're not striking against the upper end of SAG-AFTRA. They're striking against the AMPTP. A couple of guys who are undoubtedly billionaires at this point. These are the super wealthy. And like, it just comes off as a bizarre proposal. And Fran Drescher said no, because we're not looking for money from you guys. Thank you. But no, the whole point is these guys are super wealthy. They should pay more of their fair share, not you guys.
I also want to point out that the news just came out today that Apple TV is also raising their prices. Every streaming service is raising their prices right now. And I think that is directly affected by the writer's strike and the actor's strike, because all these negotiations they're making are based on consumers footing the bill. And I mean, ultimately, we're going to be getting, we're like, it takes a lot of nerve to raise the price of a streaming service in the midst of what we're dealing with right now, because there's not a lot of content coming out. So for them to go, we're going to raise it like $3, knowing that the beginning of 2024 is going to be a wasteland. We're not going to have any like good content for like the first 6 months of 2024.
Yeah. So like we've already seen delays in some stuff that was supposed to come out this year, and we're going to almost certainly see more delays because they're not filming still. Like right now, like the writer's strike is over. So they can do post-production, they can do pre-production, but they can't do production until the actors are back. There's little production things they can do, but like the lion's share,
what about actors that have prior commitments that they have to go back and finish before they can even start anything new? So we might have actors that were on movies or TV shows that stop filming like midway, and they have to finish, and then they can start something new, which means that, again, I mean, 2024 is going to feel like 2021. So like the era during COVID where there just wasn't anything new. It's going to be that again. And what really sucks in all this, outside of the fact that, you know, obviously the actors are striking for more money and we want them to get paid for what they're worth. But movie theaters were just recovering from dealing with this during COVID. And now we're going to go back to them suffering again. And it sucks for that industry as well. I mean, I think that the executives, whoever it is that's, you know, pumping out these numbers and figuring all this out, I don't think they truly understand what this means for the industry. And we can see here on YouTube that the interest in these movies and TV shows is getting lower and lower and lower, because I think people are just fatigued from dealing with this. And like stuff that normally would be pulling in a lot of views is not. It's not pulling in views. So...
And then Anthony here's asking, what are the actors striking for? I know the writers are striking due to lack of pay. Actors are striking due to lack of pay as well. See, it's a lot of the same stuff. The thing to understand about SAG-AFTRA is like, you have members like George Clooney, Ben Affleck, Scarlett Johansson. They're on the upper end. Interesting fact about SAG-AFTRA as well. So in order to qualify for the health insurance, you need to make $26,000 a year from acting jobs. 87% of members don't qualify.
Right. That's why a lot of actors have side hustles, because they don't make enough off of work. So,
And yeah, and right now the writer's strike is over. They came to a good deal, and I'm sure the SAG-AFTRA deal, they're looking to essentially do the same as the writers, but better. Because that's how this works. It goes in order pretty much.
But I'm
You
just
always
like
want the next contract to be better.
Every service we have is going to see a price hike. We've already seen most of them. I think Apple is one of the last ones. I think we're going to see Paramount Plus do a hike on it. Probably Peacock will do a hike on it. Yeah, they're going essentially what's going to happen is they're going to try and push customers, nickel and dime people as much as they can to see what they can push people towards, and
Yeah.
I think we're going to see the death of some of these streaming services. We're going to go back to just a couple of them. I don't think we're going to have like 20 of them because they can't sustain this. Network television will come back. Look, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with 23 episode seasons where we get a bunch of filler and writers and actors get paid their fair share. I'm okay with that. Yes, we had quality content for a while with streaming, but the greediness of the executives outweighed the benefit of the consumer. Like we were eating really good for like 3 years on streaming, and now we're back to what to this again. So
yeah.
Yeah, so
goddamn
and
shame.
I want to stress, just because something like filler's been used as an insult, there's lots of filler episodes of TV shows that were fucking classics.
Well, that's
there's
where a lot
nothing
of
wrong with filler in here.
and Bob, I do want to point out that filler episodes generally, and I did a little research on this, filler episodes or bottle episodes of shows are written by writers very early into their career it's given to them to test the waters to see how good they are so they can get other gigs. By eliminating filler episodes, you've eliminated entryway for a lot of up and coming writers into jobs. So that's another thing.
Wow. I didn't realize that makes sense.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know that.
Yeah, so I guess just to conclude this real fast, George Clooney and a couple of A-list actors have good intentions, but not a good plan.
Yeah, it wouldn't really solve much,
It's a Band-Aid on a wound, basically.
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. And it would also just kind of relieve the big studios from any responsibility. Being like the people in the middle who are still very well off, but like not to the same degree, being like, we'll take care of it.
Yeah.
And then the studios can just keep on doing their shit.
Lucifer, this is a good point. Like a lot of times, like showrunners for TV shows like that go on for a long time, like 7, 8, 9 seasons. The showrunners come from the training of these writers and directors and stuff on these shows that start out in the writer's room in these like bottle episodes and stuff like that. The showrunner for the Flash TV show was a writer from that same batch of people. That's an example of someone that started out as like a bottle episode writer that went on to become the showrunner for the show. So yes, it does happen. Hollywood, they don't care. This is why they're fighting so hard, guys. Like these are things that you would not know without like digging into it to find out. And it's unfortunate that they have to deal with this,
Well, because you got, part of it is the AI thing with a bunch of greedy fuckers who have no appreciation of like artistry, who think they can just use these, machine learning tools to kind of, we don't need artists or writers or anything, right? Like we don't need that shit. Actually have a post about that we could look at. Let's see. So just open it up right here on the old Discord. So this is a thing I saw, just some guy posted. It's not the first time I've seen somebody say something pretty much just like this, but this is explicitly worded. It's just, oh god damn it. Sorry, pull this up. And oh yeah, share my screen. So yeah, somebody arguing with somebody else about like why being able to make AI comics is a good thing or whatever, and he's saying, yeah, one requires me to spend about 20 minutes at my computer, and the other requires me to spend 8 hours a day, 7 days a week for 20 years to come close to what I want. That's like, this is somebody who wants to make a comic book,
Yeah,
and that's Jesus Christ. Man, I don't know. I just felt like sharing, that misery with everybody else because I had to see it. So, And there's a lot of people that are thinking this way.
It's just easy, you know. It's like, oh, I really want to make this like this cool comic, right? But I just don't want to do the effort to do it. I don't want to try to learn how to do it. Some of the techniques. I don't want to have any creativity for it. I just want to write on my laptop, you know, and then just get it.
It's like, you know, if you spend years honing your craft, you're a sucker, you know.
AI right now is like the Napster of art, because what Napster did was sent Metallica into like a frenzy and caused them to change the way streaming music is for the world today. And I feel like that's where we are with AI right now. Until there's some sort of like regulations on it or whatever, it's going to be the Wild West. By the way, though, if you like, I don't know if this is the same in every country, but over here, the judge ruled that AI art cannot be trademarked or copyrighted. So anybody making a book using exclusively AI art with characters that you have created, you can't copyright that or trademark it. It's illegal.
Yeah.
So good luck with that. I mean,
yeah, I don't know about you guys, because it might also be a subjective thing, but it's like, to me, part of like appreciating art is also like acknowledging that there is humans that have made it, you know, humans that have put effort into it, that have had their own creative vision and their own artistic like artistry. That's part of it, you know. That's a really fucking important part of it. It's not just, oh, this looks cool. It's also like, you know, you can appreciate what's gone into it. And like oh, sorry, go.
Oh, I mean, I was just gonna say, like, the most, you know, beloved, well respected art of any kind is like something that connects on a human level.
Exactly.
And like, what the fuck, you know, literally AI can't do that. You know, not that it's AI anyway, but that's a whole other subject. But like, yeah, it literally can't just express a human expression or connection to anything or whatever. It can't like say anything profound. It can only just fucking regurgitate shit. And yeah.
You know, another thing is, it's funny to me that the crowd that is touting AI art as being like the next thing is the same crowd that has been talking about the government using AI to control people. So,
which one is it?
Well, if you keep them busy, if you keep it busy doing the art, they're not going to do the government control thing, I guess.
What if AI art is a psyop for the government to control you? I mean, what if that's what it is? I mean, it's just
oh shit,
they fall into the trap.
Well, you know, you talk about we are getting to the ranking. Just a couple of minutes. We got a couple of very quick things that I think we should hit on first. But did you guys see this shit?
Basically everybody. That's what happens when you're a free thinker.
Anti-establishment or right-wing or dissident media is just their slurs slung at the people who are doing news correctly.
When the media says dissident or anti-establishment, I mean, when I hear it, I think base, very cool.
So you got Dave Rubin, Lauren Southern.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just a who's who of fucking what the fuck. But wait, there's good ones. There's just wait.
Free speech is under attack that we self-censor. Maybe they take us down individually. It's a lot harder to do when we're grouped together in this way.
I worked for several massive corporate news organizations. What did I learn? They lie. Their agendas matter more than the truth.
Independent media actually most important job is holding these people accountable.
The challenge for all of us is to not be passive participants in letting the country slip away.
Let's go, white people.
Tenet.
Yeah. I mean, which I think is a great name because it's going to be backwards. It's going to be incomprehensible. It's going to be overproduced.
Do they have any artistic or creative bone in their body? Is it just a bunch of people sitting around thinking of ways to make money off of people that are stupid? These are people that sound smart to dumb people. These are people that sound smart to dumb people. That's what it is.
But also, unironically, they definitely think they look the coolest they've ever looked. Like, you get a video of like Tim Pool and like dark lighting looking up at the camera. He's like putting that on repeat back at home.
Slowly.
I love that he refuses to take the beanie off. That's the most.
I was watching a clip, and I don't know how long it's been like this, but like I said, I noticed that on his logo on the wall in his fucking stupid podcast room there, his logo actually has a beanie on it. And I'd never noticed that before. So it's like he's just fully like, yeah, the beanie's me. I am one with the beanie.
Does he even sell? Look, I'm not trying to give him ideas, but I mean, if you're going to sell something, the most genuine thing you could sell is a beanie collection. I mean, honestly, if that's what, never go that way, I guess.
There's some good content out there about like what a piece of shit Tim Pool is, and like how he kind of got his start and how he basically just lied his way to becoming a millionaire and pretending to be a journalist, and it's kind of crazy.
I mean, he just has dumb take. Can I put something out there? What if we're not actually breathing air? What do you feel about that? I mean, he just asked the dumbest fucking questions, the most contrarian, middle of the road bullshit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it. I'm asking a question. That's the same game that Joe Rogan plays and all these other guys.
Yep. My favorite thing that Tim Pool ever did was the whenever he says, you know, I just don't have any interest in any women or anything. I don't date. It's like, and then he goes, but I know it's not me. It's everybody else. It's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Right.
Not you at all, right?
I choose to have never had a girlfriend.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was. There's a whole thing. Snitch.
You know what?
By Wall Street.
I cannot wait for Tenet Media.
It's going to be something, right? Like we can at least maybe make fun of something there.
It's definitely not going to last long. They're going to make their money and peace out of it.
Yeah, I was going to say, what benefit do they individually have for doing this? I mean, there has to be another, like, okay, wait, hold on. Are they experiencing Chudpocalypse too? Is that why they're doing this? Because they're seeing diminishing returns on their individual platforms?
I mean, probably. Like to some degree, I would assume so. Yeah. I mean, because look, we can look at that a little bit. I don't know how much we wanted to look at any Chudpocalypse stuff, but
we have plenty of. We have a huge horror monster tier list. I think we could do a couple of minutes on Chudpocalypse.
Cool. Because I found an article about, I guess, some new stuff that YouTube's been doing that maybe will explain a little bit.
Oh, you have an article. That's interesting.
Oh, wait, where the fuck?
Or do you not have one? Did you?
I thought I did. God damn it!
No.
I thought I did.
Okay.
I don't know where it went.
Well, that's the thing, Anthony, is that Critical Drinker. Was it? No, it was Nerdrotic. Tried to use AI to make their own script or whatever, and it ended up, I think Bob's the one that called this out. They ended up getting it wrong. They thought that he was being genuine on his opinions of stuff instead of like grifting, which I think is hilarious.
Yeah, it came like he did like Nerdrotic script on the strike.
It's like they don't understand deception. Yeah. They don't understand human deception, which I think is funny.
Well,
it assumed he was pro-strike and pro-worker.
Yeah.
I've got like 3 or 4 or 5 like quick examples of Chudpocalypse we can look at. So, I mean, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt anything, but
no.
Y'all know.
I'm going to assume that someone out there is trying to build a alt-right like AI, but at that point, it's not really AI. It's just something that spits out what they want it to spit out. So
yeah. And I know so far, like the whole like why are they doing this now? And is it because they're probably like seeing that any like downfalls? And I think definitely because usually I feel like when like influencers on the internet or like personalities stuff like do new things, right? It can be through creativity, but these people don't have like creative vision. They don't have this like creative need to do new cool projects, right? So I think definitely when you see something new, it's like this is the new big thing. It's because they need a new big thing to keep relevant.
Yeah, because to be fair here, as much as I dislike him, Tim Pool's platform is big enough that he doesn't need to work with anybody else. There's no reason unless he's experiencing a financial hit somewhere.
Exactly.
Actually, most of the people in that video don't need each other. It's really weird that they would,
Yeah, I think that they must, smell an ending on the horizon. It's maybe years from now, but like they're probably seeing some kind of like small dip in, whatever.
Once you expand to a certain point, this is like you see this with franchises like fast food places and restaurants and hotels and stuff. Once you expand to a certain point, you have to maintain that amount of money coming in to keep everything afloat. So if they're experiencing even a minor hiccup, that means something has to give, because they can't continue to do that. So like, for example, John Campia, who's not necessarily in the Chud sphere or whatever, was trying to do a lot of stuff, channel expanded, all that, and then noticed that the money wasn't there and slowly kept cutting back to the point where I think he's not even doing anything like the content he was doing before. because of that. So it's not just something that happens to like obviously chuds, but chuds are experiencing it now because that promise of like something failing just isn't paying off. Like nothing is failing, nothing is not. Like how long can you say that before people are gonna? Hopefully, some people are gonna go, "Oh well, this is never happening." So why am I tuning into this all the time? Why am I going there and being a part of it? Which I think is funny. Eric July did a live stream this past week.
Yeah, I have.
But he said, "Why would I want to make content that lives in misery all the time or something like that?" And I'm like, dude, are you not fucking paying attention to the stuff you're making?
No self-awareness.
Well, yeah. I was just thinking that.
Speaking of Eric July, though, I got this this thing here.
Oh yeah.
Are you cool with me showing this? Because it is.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, because I'm the one that mentioned it the first time, so I kind of noticed it when I clicked on his channel the other day.
Well, I mean, just because it's a literal screenshot. From
I don't care.
So, okay. No. Just want to make sure. I've been in trouble for things like that. He lost another 1,000 subs. Go ahead. You can go ahead and explain that since you've been watching.
Yeah. So I was keeping an eye on his channel numbers because remember I was doing this with all the Chud channels when we were first talking about the Chudpocalypse, going through to the Wayback Machine, basically, and looking at all of the different channels to find out what their numbers were, where they were. And I found out that Eric July started out with he had a pretty good sized channel before COVID, but then COVID hit and obviously like the channel blew up. And a lot of them did that. Nerdrotic was another one that got really big during COVID. Melanie Mac, a lot of those channels. And at the beginning of this year, Eric July was at 514 K subs. And then about 2 months ago, I noticed that it was down to 513K, which is when we started talking about the Chudpocalypse. And then as of like 2 days ago, he was down to 512K subs. And he's also a bunch of channel or video views went away. And this is something that I didn't notice. Somebody in his chat said this, that like what happened to these videos or whatever. He's been removing videos and I don't know which ones they are, but if I had to guess, it is related to the lawsuit because we know that the ISA ministry is following a bunch of accounts related to Eric July and keeping tabs on that. So I'm assuming that's what it's about. It's actually smart that he did it. If that's what he did, it's smart. But I think they probably already seen them. Like, to be completely honest, they might have probably, maybe, I don't know. But I feel like they most likely saw these videos already because they've already put together their lawsuit. Oh, you're muted, Dane.
The way that the guy talked about it, he kind of hinted at it in his response. The actual ISIM guy, he kind of said that like he was aware of, or he did say he was aware of a lot of the shit that Eric gets into online. So like I'm pretty sure they did some looking around and
yeah.
Saw
I want to point out that there's a lot of channels experiencing some level of like diminishing returns right now, and I've said this before. It's not just unique to like this group of people, but the thing is they were for the longest time immune to normal diminishing returns because of the fact that their channels were so hyperbolic and aggressive when it comes to going after these topics. So to see like him and other people with visual proof that their channels are slowing down is quite significant, and I'm seeing them less than recommended too, which I think is a big deal. So I don't know what article you're talking about that kind of discussed it, but I don't know if that had anything to do with it or not.
So just out of curiosity, I looked up something real fast. If you're curious to watch the debate I had with Eric July, my channel is now the only place to watch it.
Oh,
weird.
So there are a couple of channels that have been sort of okay right now, but then there are things that they're doing that tell me that something is not up to par. Like Nerdrotic is a channel where typically he gets more views per video than he has subscribers, which is highly unusual. I want to point this out.
Mm-hmm.
Most channels do not see more views per regular video than they have subscribers. It is a very unique thing that almost looks sketch to me. I'm not accusing him of anything, but it looks very sketch to me. But the fact that he's also grifting coffee tells me that something is not right in the water, because you don't grift coffee if your channel views are doing good. So I don't know if Critical Drinker is doing the same thing or not, but something is definitely off about a channel that consistently gets more video views than they have subscribers. I'm just telling you right now, that is an unrealistic thing that just does not happen.
Yeah, speaking of grifting coffee because things aren't going too well. Yeah, this is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Quartering not doing too well.
Nope.
You know, imagine that. I mean, look, I guess there's a little bit of like justice in the universe, just a little bit, that like he didn't gain a big following whenever he started getting openly sponsored by Nazis. You know what I mean? I was kind of wondering about that. I was like, oh no, is he just gonna, like, all the Nazis gonna flock to him? Or, but no, I think they were already following him. Now they're bored. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, 11 million views a month is still...
It's still a fucking lot, but
I guess.
He is doing...
I mean, he cried online. I don't know. I don't remember exactly what he
yeah.
said, but he was crying online about people not watching his videos, and he wanted to know what they wanted to see. Like when you're in the GriftTube sphere, you don't do that. That's like blood in the water. You don't say something like that.
I got that right here. He even posted a photo, it looks like, with him and his wife. So he's like, look, I'm just a regular guy. Why do you hate me? Haha, well, just kidding, sorta. Like insecure girlfriend mode. You know what I mean?
I love that he says the quiet part out loud. Since the strike has brought in less woke cringe and the war videos are dividing lots of fans, what topics am I missing? So he's admitting out loud that the strike has affected them, which we've been theorizing for months now. And this is someone that has a direct line to his analytics. He knows what's happening because he's been gaming the system for a really long time. That's pretty much what he's been doing, like the rest of the Chud channel. So,
well, I mean, what if it's like, what if he doesn't though? Like, if you think about the fact that all he's had to do for years is essentially the same framing of whatever the fuck it is, that maybe he doesn't actually have an operative understanding of how to.
Dave, I also think it's funny. He's talking about coffee here, which we just talked about, the fact that they've been pushing coffee because they're not getting enough views on their videos. And like, I know that their fans come in and say that, oh, we're coping or whatever. We don't say stuff because we don't actually believe in what we're saying. When I say that they grift coffee, I mean that they grift coffee. That's what they're doing. Like they're literally doing it. Dane put together a graphic about it. We've talked about this. That is part of the game that they do. That's how they manipulate people. It's the process. It's the magic. It's the man behind the curtain kind of shit.
Yeah, I got that graphic right here, as a matter of fact.
So clearly something's not popping. Yeah,
and it's like, in case you missed this is what Quartering is doing, different company, and this is not the company that Nerdrotic's using either, but it's the same shit. It's called drop shipping. You literally don't even have to touch any coffee. I imagine they probably would order some just to try it or something, but like maybe not.
to put it behind them on the wall or something, maybe to have it in frame. So,
but I mean, all you got to do is have some money, and then they just handle all of the actual shit that's involved with like making, producing, packaging, selling, shipping, all that. You just pay them a little bit of money, and then you get to say, hey, I've got a coffee company, got coffee. Fucking just these guys. This is what happens when you don't have any talent or skills, and you've kind of coasted by on grifting the way that they have for years. And it's like, it's honestly probably kind of fucking a little bit of existential panic to some degree if you're one of these guys and you're looking at your stats and you're like, oh fuck, they're not going back up.
Well, think about this also. Think about this. When you've been doing this for so long and this is your resume, once this goes away, what do you do? Because you're not going to get a job working for like a major brand or anything like that. You might get one of these like alt-right brands or whatever, but you're not going to work at any major companies where they're going to respect you. They're going to look at your content and be like, dude, what the fuck were you doing? There's nothing there. You know what I mean? It's
and Comicsgate seems to be kind of desperate too, because they're doing stuff like this. For some reason, it's just like,
dude, I exclusively read comic books with sodomy exclusively.
Right. Yeah. It's just weird. And then, but then of course, Della Rose, that he went ahead and pulled the mask all the way off as if he didn't already have his mask all the way off. Did you see that follow-up one, DJ, where he said, this is literally what it's about is, gay people?
Yeah. I have that in my video. I use the screenshots of it, but I talked about it that for the longest time, they've paraded around that they just want better writing. And that's never been the case. We've been saying for a long time that these channels are inherently political. social channels that use fandom as a way to, continuously marginalize people. And look, I want to put this out there. There's a reason why that guy isn't on like all of those different streams. Yeah. He is a loose cannon, and they don't want him saying stuff like this. They genuinely do not want him speaking for them, because this goes against what we've talked about. In order for them to convince people to buy into what they're selling, they have to give them the diet version of this. He's like, no more diet version. We're going full alcohol. Like this
and
is.
Here's the thing though. Here's the thing. Sorry. He actually I got to. I'm sorry because I got a special Halloween one. Here's the thing.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
So, he works for Bounding into Comics. Yeah. So basically, all the guys that use Bounding into Comics as a source, which is pretty much all of them, you can kind of just pretty easily tie them to this and like, okay, we know like that this is what you mean. I mean, we knew it anyway, but like you got your guy right here, just flat out saying it. So he goes
our side. Who do you think he means by that? He means all of these fucking GriftTube channels, all these guys on the internet that do this. To backpedal and say, oh, it's woke, it has bad writing, rather than addressing the real problem that makes woke disgusting, glorifying sin is the problem. So, I mean, do we need, can we pack it up? Are we done here? I mean, this literally is like he is admitting that everything they're doing is a lie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, then they accused us of doing hater speech one time. Some of them may think that just saying, actually the stuff you believe is really harmful and fascist and shitty and you're a bad person, but that's not hate speech. Hate speech is like is going after a group of people you don't even know, just large groups of people for ways that they are born. You can choose, John, you can choose to not be a piece of shit Nazi today. You're not going to, but you could choose it.
Yeah. Yep. I'm not giving this guy credit, but I do appreciate that he finally just said it, because this is something that I've been waiting for them to admit. And I want to give myself a little credit as well. Like a couple months ago, I said we're just going to see them become more and more radical as they become desperate because the views aren't happening for them. And here we are today. This isn't the end of it. They are going to destroy their own platform by self-admitting. That's what they're going to do. They need to not speak without a lawyer at this point, because it's happening. We're seeing it with this. We're seeing it within the Comicsgate circle. Comicsgate is infighting now because of all this stuff with EVS and Eric July.
Well, and now Ethan is he's decided to take up a second job as Fred Durst. So I wasn't expecting that. Desperation.
Yeah, it's really weird. It's an interesting time for that circle. I honestly did not think we'd have this perfect storm of like Chudpocalypse all happening at the same time, but it is sort of just happening.
I've got a really, really juicy one for you, and then we can move on here. But like this one's too fucking good. Okay. So Rippaverse, you guys heard of that shit?
No.
One of the things that Eric July has like clearly since the beginning tried to develop is, the value of the secondary market for his comics, right? Which is just absurd. Like that's not something you cultivate ahead of time, but like little things like on number 2, the issue 2, it said at the bottom, like the introduction of these characters or whatever, these anticipated characters, collector's item and it's like, that's not how a debut character, is presented. You wait until the character is popular and then you go, oh yeah, that's a collector's item now. You don't like call it a collector's item ahead of time, but it just goes to show that he's trying to create this fucking inflated market. And I've had some questions about the eBay sales pretty much since ISIN number 1. That like something seems kind of fishy, but either way, whether it was a real market or not, it's not fucking real anymore. So this is ISIN number 2, cover C, was the foil variant, limited to 5,000 copies, which is way too many, with a price tag of $100. And a speculator sold 3 copies of it for $110 plus shipping. Like, and then there's other examples too. We don't go into them now, but like there's examples of what should be theoretically, based on how Eric and these people talk about it, a book that's worth at least $100 or something like that, and it's sold for like 30 or 20 or some shit. It's nobody cares about this shit. This is not something that people value. It's just not. 5,000 copies of this is fucking absurd. And that's Shane Davis's cover, by the way, and he's apparently seems kind of regretful for having even.
Yeah, I saw that back and forth he had with someone about that.
No, it does seem insane. Oh, here's a limited issue for ISOM, a limited cover, 5,000. Holy crap! That's like a quarter of the sales. What? And like
that's Eric's ego just fucking got ahead of him, right? Like he made a good amount of money off of a lot of merch and stuff too, but like that first time, and then he goes, oh well, let's make 5,000 copies of this because people are gonna buy the shit out of it. I don't know. This is pretty funny though. This is actually Shane Davis, the guy that drew this this cover.
Thank you so much for having us on. And dude, it is always good talking shop with you and talking comics with you
all day.
You have so much wisdom in this field and the things that are going on. It's just great talking to you about this stuff.
And Shane, I appreciate you so much for joining us.
Dude, I love talking to you.
Appreciate you.
He just doesn't look happy.
He seems so genuine in it. Yeah. It doesn't seem like
I think he mentioned he wasn't happy about his cover being like the $100 item or something like that. So
he did. Yeah. I mean, Shane Davis is not the kind of guy that can pull $100 for covers. Like he's done one thing that I know of that I've read, which was Superman Earth 1 back in the day.
Of course he is Byron. Of course he is Byron. Not surprised.
Yeah, so there's plenty of examples of Chudpocalypse. We might do some content on that before too long.
We got some pre-recorded videos we're going to be working on soon that will be going up on the initiative channel. So stay tuned for that.
But unless anybody has anything else, then it's about that time, I suppose.
It is about time to rank some horror icons.
Hell yeah. I'll be back in just 30 seconds.
I'm surprised you didn't change it to actual horror for the month of October. That would have been.
Yeah, cool. I thought about it. I put a lot into doing that type of stuff last year. Like I had, a bunch of specific branding and stuff on my channel, and then just, I don't know. It's been a fucking weird couple of weeks. I'll say that. Both content wise and then just in my life. So I haven't had the energy, I suppose.
It was a couple years ago. I had my friend make a horror version of my theme song, and I barely used it this year.
I did make this though. So
Gordy is S tier.
I love how you were grifting off of Gordy.
But. Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
All right. So are we ready for the
any
tier
money
list?
off it? It's grifting.
Rank. Let's rank some shit.
Let's rank some fucking horror killers, villains, guys.
There's
dudes.
like 2 or 3 guys for us to rank, right?
Yeah,
at least.
Some Dracula, Freddy. I can't think of any other ones.
And Batman.
I don't guess. I didn't think about this till I put the shirt on. I guess we didn't get Killer Clowns from Outer Space, right?
No. Listen, you. I will not hear anything from you guys for anything I've missed because I asked. The chat can go off on me, but all right. So here we have the list. So our 5 main topics, or no, not topics. Tiers. So at the top we have GOAT, the greatest of all time. These are our absolute favorites. After that we have Iconic. These are very great horror icons, but not our favorites, right? But we can appreciate their legacy. Next we have Scary. This is like the good tier, you know, like just a good old scary good horror icon. Then we have It's a Horror Villain, I guess, which is kind of like the meh. You know, it's like it's
it
there.
exists.
Yeah. And then if there's ones we actively hate, there is the hate topic. And yeah, so we have a bunch to go through. So does anyone have anything before we begin?
I'd like to add these fucking ads that are on screen right now to the ones that I hate.
Oh yeah, I also hope you guys can appreciate the Danish. I don't know
What
why.
does the car have to do with anything?
Well, I could try to.
These songs are actually pretty good, man. What are you fucking?
There's new ones. You know what?
Oh,
you guys are just gonna get free ads, all right?
At least it's sexy people this time. You know
exactly. You guys want some BB 480 unis? Oh, no, it goes by.
It's going too fast.
Yeah,
by the way, I can guarantee that's not actually Nike. That's probably some ripoff.
Oh yeah, no way.
It's the Danish ripoff version.
Yeah.
All right.
Anyways, all right.
So how do you propose we do this? Just kind of just go through the list that we got there, and
just go through the list, and then we discuss, and we gotta, as usual, try to become, try to be.
Do we want to set up any parameters on the outset, or just kind of fucking wing it as we go?
What are you thinking? For like,
I don't know.
So
I firmly believe in winging it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And there's going to be inconsistencies, and the fun is going to come in us disagreeing, right? I guess like this one, the scary one is also like good, right? Sometimes there's a good horror villain that doesn't necessarily scare you that much, but it's still good. Basically, it's just our favorites in this order, right? Favorites, almost favorites, like them, and despise. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, and there's probably going to be more towards the top just because most of them are more well-known icons, you know. But I've tried to go for some that are a bit less known.
All right, so Jason Voorhees.
Jason Voorhees.
For as iconic as he is, he's not. In my opinion, he's and I'm somebody that like grew up watching the shit out of Friday the 13th movies, Nightmare on Elm Street. I was in all that shit as like way too young. But Jason is just kind of.
Turf, can you blow up the screen a little bit? Sorry, Dane. People are saying they can't see the screen.
True. Let's see if we can. That might be what we can do here is maybe that.
Is that better for everyone?
Nope, not that.
Well, that's not
I'm messing with the kind of settings here right now. Fuck.
Yeah,
that might be all right.
Yeah. Let me edit this layout real quick and see what I can do.
But you're saying with Jason, I guess. I wouldn't put him in GOAT. I wouldn't put him in GOAT. Like I wouldn't put him there.
Well, like essentially, you had the first Halloween movie, which was iconic, and we'll definitely get to that today. But and then you had Friday the 13th, which was like cool, but was like the knockoff. And I don't mean to insult it because it really
that wasn't even Jason. That was his mother.
Knockoff. Yeah.
I mean, Jason is essentially a glorified zombie story. I mean, that's pretty much what he is. He's just
that until the fourth movie, though. Because he's supposedly
he was like a person
for the first few movies.
But he acts like a fucking
he was pretty much a zombie from the get-go because he was
that is
a
true
dead kid that rose from the river.
But like it became more and more supernatural.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I like the one where he's in space.
Fuck yeah,
Jason X isn't.
Yeah,
that one.
I mean, look, there's fun in these
movies,
good
ways,
right?
They're fun.
Oh yeah, well, like I would argue, like Jason, one of his best ones is 6, which is pretty much just a comedy.
Yeah,
he's probably one of the only ones I would argue for that.
I would say he's iconic to me. I mean, I feel like he's an icon.
Yeah,
but he's not goated. Not at all.
I can't quite put him as GOAT, but I definitely say iconic because like
he used to be
there's a
one of
big
my
three,
favorites.
and he's one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. He used to be one of my favorites because I loved those movies, but like he doesn't have much going for him other than just like the coolness factor.
He was one of my favorites, but then I grew up and I saw more horror movies, you know.
All right. So I think we're all in agreement that like iconic is a good.
I'm comfortable putting him on iconic.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at too.
Next up we have Dane. No, sorry. We have the Predator.
Which one are we looking at here? Because there's so many different Predators. Are we talking about the OG one from like the original movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get. Yeah. Like, I guess the one we want it to be. Because there's some of these where it's like I haven't gone for that many different versions.
Because I'll be honest, the Predator from Prey got his ass whipped. But I mean, there's
this one I'm gonna put that dude in GOAT.
Yeah, I think Predator for me is a GOAT. I think like the Predator / Alien franchise for me, just you can't. Those two are unique, and I haven't seen anything come along and make them better. Basically, so I would say it's GOATed for me.
Wow, I was leaning more towards iconic or even scary. As much as I like, here's what I love about the Predator, especially the first one, is that essentially it takes a whole bunch of muscle-bound like superheroes and turns them into a bunch of final girls. Well, I guess there's only one final girl played by Arnold Schwarzenegger, but I love that aspect of it. I love that, like, it just.
So we have two GOAT and
butchers them.
Wait, so if we have two GOAT and a somewhat scary and a somewhat iconic,
yeah,
I think that means they have to go with iconic,
than
right?
you guys. I guess.
No, look. I'm saying this because as Greg says, we got Stan Winston designed it. Okay, we've got a genre fucking defying film, right? Is it science fiction? Is it horror? Is it action? It's all of them. Motherfucker, it's all of them.
Is it get to the chopper? I mean, it's like
get to the chopper. I mean, a little bit of comedy in there for that one. Yeah. It's a movie about like in the 80s. John McTiernan, he had two movies back to back that he did this where he Die Hard and this where he kind of he undermined the genre tropes, the action tropes of like the muscle bound male hero with more obviously with Bruce Willis and Die Hard, but in this case, literally all of the big muscle bound fucking guys with guns couldn't stop the thing. They're just getting wasted left and right. It's only whenever Schwarzenegger slowed down, fucking used his big giant muscle brain, was he able to I think that deserves to be GOAT.
I feel the same way. I don't know if that's going to convince Bob though. He seems like he's still not.
Yeah, I don't understand what your deal is, Bob. Why are you...
Personally, I was originally thinking of like an iconic. But then I heard you guys talking about GOAT, and I was like, I can get behind that. But then I heard Bob say scary, and I was like, you know what?
Look, if we can't put Predator on GOAT this early on, I'm gonna be thrown off the rest of the fucking list because I don't know what anything means after that.
I'm also for like the amount of like pop culture fucking significance this had and like the memes. I'm fine with GOAT. Predator is just really cool.
I think
design.
I'm getting outvoted, guys. I mean,
yeah. Sit your ass down, Bob.
Are you thinking about the sequels, Bob? Stop thinking about the sequels.
Well, Predator, I think actually has
he got his ass
sequels,
whooped by a
except
girl.
for the
there's
the Predator. That one was
right. Yeah.
Great.
Now Predator 2 is good. It's enjoyable.
All right,
yeah,
I love the
Predator
discussion.
2, Predators, Prey, solid movies.
But if this is not going to take a while, just move
I
it.
we have to like burn through this.
Sorry.
All right, next up we have Annabelle.
I'm saying scary for me.
Literally
scary.
haven't seen it, so I don't know.
She's scary to me. I know she might be considered iconic. She's definitely not GOAT. Definitely.
No.
I mean,
I'm like very against putting her in these two.
Yeah, it's scary at best for me. But like, I almost want like the first movie sucked, and then the second one was actually decent. But like,
yeah,
I don't know.
She's not even like the best
I like
doll
Chucky
on this
way
list.
more.
Yeah, same. I was like,
you guys are going to notice that I have much less to say on these more recent like sinister whatever fucking Insidious whatever Conjuring universe movies that there are because I just don't care for them.
I'm comfortable wherever you want to put her except for hate or GOAT. Anywhere else,
I'm in between these two. Like scary, that's a horror villain, I guess.
The Conjuring was good, and then there's these spin-offs, and like for the most part, the spin-offs have sucked.
That's true. That is true. Yeah.
The things I'm fine with putting it in scary for now, but I also could see it going down.
I'm not going to argue for scary. So
I would actually argue for it's a horror villain. I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I could go with that.
Yeah. I was thinking first putting it here and then waiting to see what it's up against in this.
Yeah, we might want to move it because I mean it is a creepy doll, but like how much weight do we want to give that? There's lots of creepy stuff here.
We've got a better creepy doll in this list. So
exactly.
Think about that for a second. So
yeah. So what are we?
I'm going to say horror villain for me. I really
I'm down with that. I'm fine. All right. Next up we have Jigsaw. I know this is like Billy the Puppet, but Jigsaw from Saw.
Go with scary for him.
Personally, for me, and this is very subjective.
Yeah,
I'd put him in GOAT because he was like me and my brother's like fucking icon as children.
Okay,
and we made our own Saw movies. So you know what? I'm a little bit biased.
What?
So...
I would, we gotta have a talk about that later on. But
I told myself from the start if I ever reached 1 million subscribers, I'd show them. But
oh my god,
what?
Those are something else. But
okay,
so I'm a little bit biased.
So let me say I'm going to say iconic because you know, although you know the sequels or whatever they are, but like the first movie that when I saw it, watched it with my older brother, and we were adults. You know, when that came out, you were like what, a little toddler or something, sure. But like. Dude, we weren't really super impressed by the movie, but then you get to that last fucking scene, and we were both just like, "What the fuck?" Whenever he fucking stands up, you know, and he's like, "Oh, game over, bitch," or whatever. And I was like, "No, okay." So that should kind of
I would say for me, at the very least, he's iconic. But I would not argue against GOAT if people feel personally connected to him in that way. But I would say at the very least, he's iconic.
I mean, if I'm the only one who thinks it should be GOAT, then I don't want it to be. You know, it's like that thing. It's not that strong, but it's like personally for me, I'm like, yeah, he's GOAT.
I cannot argue against him being iconic because Jigsaw has like spun off so many people wearing costumes and making like different versions of this character. So definitely iconic. So
for sure,
he's definitely a more original spin on the serial killer thing that we've seen so many times in movies, like the over complex traps.
I mean, we can always. We could sit at iconic until we get towards the end and see if maybe you want to move it around. I mean, fair enough.
The fact that there's another movie out now, apparently involving him when he supposedly died like 5 movies ago. You know,
that's one of my biggest complaints with the Saw franchise is that they killed him off too early, and they know that, but they're just not rebooting it for some reason. Well, so it's still his plan. Like 5 movies after he fucking died.
Well, I think it's wild how he keeps on looking older, even though we keep on flashing back to him being younger.
True. Like when he was like they flash back to him as like a 20-something guy, and he looks like he's in his 50s.
Yeah, it's so
hilarious.
Funny when they just put him in a beanie.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
He's fucking like 6
Hello, fellow young people.
That was like peak campiness there. That was great.
Yeah, that was great.
Simple. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Hello, fellow kids. That's what I felt like when I saw that. I was like,
but yeah, I'm fine with putting him in iconic.
Okay.
All right. Next, we have the Anaconda from Anaconda.
Okay, I was wondering what that was. I was like, what is this picture?
It's very low res.
I've never seen these.
Oh my god, I'm gonna put like. Okay, initially when I first saw it, it was scary. I feel like it is a scary villain. But I don't know if it's unique or you know what I mean. Like,
it's one of those like there's multiple of like the big animal.
Yeah, I would put this in horror villain, I guess. I mean, it is scary, but it also doesn't have a lot of identity. So
yeah, it's not bad enough that I hate it. You know?
No, I don't hate it, and I think it does. You know?
Yeah, and it is like I'd be fucking terrified of a massive snake, whereas some of the others on this list, I would like. Obviously, any of them, I would freak. Like I'd shit my pants, but like just the thought of them, like a massive ass snake, I
mean, I remember seeing that movie and being like entertained and not like a scary way at all.
It's definitely not scary.
That's why I said like when I was seeing in the theaters, I was a little like, oh my god, but it was more jump scares than anything. I don't think jump scares count.
No. All right, next up we have Candyman.
At least iconic, I feel like. At least
for like the B scene alone.
Yeah.
That
This is another one I haven't seen.
I wouldn't put it above the other two. Like
I wouldn't either, but I would definitely put him in the iconic category.
I can see him at like bottom of iconic for me, at least like thinking about just early on.
I could argue GOAT too if people really felt attached to him. I don't necessarily. I wouldn't argue my personal opinion. I wouldn't argue GOAT, but I could see if people wanted to. I feel like he's iconic.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Bob, Dane?
I don't really have a vote.
Like I also wouldn't be opposed to moving him down if someone was strong against that. But like,
well,
so
wait.
we're talking about.
He's played by Tony Todd, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Go.
Okay. Fair enough. I mean, that's a solid argument for me.
See, I'm a little bit against that.
Dude, he follows me on Twitter. Go.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
What? By the way, what did you guys?
If
think
any of the others want to follow,
what did you guys think of the requel that they did that Nia DaCosta directed? Actually?
I thought it was really good. I liked it.
I did too. I thought I liked it.
Yeah, so I don't have an issue with it. But yeah, I would say he falls in for me. He's icon status.
Yeah, like personally for me, I just wouldn't put him above like.
I would put him
Jigsaw
above Jason. I'd put him above Jason, but not Jigsaw.
I definitely would not put him above Jigsaw for me.
No, because I think Jigsaw is more visually iconic than Candyman is, even though he has a lot of fans. I'm not going to argue that, but I feel like Jigsaw is artistically you see the stamp more than you do with Candyman, because what he's got like the hook for a hand or whatever. You know, but yeah, I don't know. I guess iconic is good for now. We can see.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Go.
So this was the next one.
This?
Yeah, no one really likes it.
What is it?
I can't tell. What is it?
Oh, it's Xenomorph
from
like an indie movie called Alien.
Goat.
Oh,
Goat.
Absolutely, so a fucking goat. Like,
yeah, we all hate it, right?
I don't actually think there's any discussion to be had. It just goes and goes.
Amazing.
It is just
like the design.
The Geiger design is just amazing. Yeah,
it is the perfect creature design. Just
my god, it's really terrifying in every aspect. I love it.
It's tongue game strong though.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, let me pull up the one that I did of DJ here in a second.
I mean, was there any doubt?
It's so good.
Was there going to be any doubt that it was going to be GOAT for me? This was literally my choice for.
That Photoshop is so good.
Get away from her, you bitch! I love every one of these early Alien movies except for 3.
Oh, the first
except
two
for
are
3.
amazing.
I mean, the first 2 are
3's
fucking
bit
masterpieces in my opinion.
3, the director's cut, is the only version you should ever watch of the third one. But yeah,
I've never
second one is kind of woke.
The director's cut because
the second one is very woke. Strong female lead.
Yeah, it's a bit much. Yeah.
She gets inside of a lifter. It's just too woke. What is a woman doing using equipment like that?
She can't use that with her small arms. What? She.
But yeah, there was not much discussion about that.
No.
How about
hate
birds? What do you mean?
Hate. It's the dumbest thing ever.
Is this the bird? Oh, is this Alfred Hitchcock?
Yes, birds.
Yeah. I love Alfred Hitchcock, but I hate this movie. I hate the birds.
I assume Hitchcock's gonna come up later and it will be much higher rated. Like, I don't know. This is fine. It's a classic, but it never grabbed me. So
I say fuck them birds. Fuck them birds. I'm not a fan. So let's
see, as whenever like I did like, because this is way past my or before my time, but like
it's before
it's before our time too.
Are you guys sure?
Yes.
Like they're taking film courses and stuff, like seeing certain Alfred Hitchcock things, I'm like, damn, there's something about old cinema. This one did not do it for me.
No.
I was like,
I don't know if it's true or not, but I do remember reading somewhere that they were toying around with like new ideas for special effects with this one, and it just didn't work out. And I can see that because it's just not great. I look, I'm okay with people putting it in the horror villain tier, but I would put it in hate because I hate this movie.
The thing is, I feel like it's a disservice to it to put it here because it's too iconic for this in a way. Like, my feelings are way stronger than just
movie, but
like it is. My feelings are stronger towards it than just like a meh, but it's towards the hate, you know?
I know. Like I watched this and listen, I love Alfred Hitchcock, and this was literally one that just did not grab me. I did not find it memorable.
Yeah.
I remember even watching the movie he did where he did like almost one continuous shot. That one I thought was way better than the birds, which was, and that one just kind of like almost like a a project movie.
Right.
Yeah. Also, just
Yeah.
fuck birds, man. I once got my panini.
Well, I mean, we're
stolen by
gonna
a
get to
bird.
Birdemic Shock and Terror, right? Because that one's
no.
Yeah.
God.
A fucking seagull once stole my panini, and it was like, I hate birds from now on. So yeah, I'm fine with putting it in hate.
Cool.
Next up, we have Carrie.
Yeah.
Carrie to me is iconic. It's not my favorite movie, but it is an iconic movie. I think.
Yeah.
It is iconic, yeah.
I mean, it's definitely one of the better early Stephen King adaptations.
Yeah. Where are we ranking it in here?
I mean, I always just figure get them in the tiers and then we can sort it out later.
Yeah, if we have time. All right. Yeah, there's not much to say about. Then we have the grandparents from The Visit. If you've watched it,
I haven't seen it.
I mean, they're scary. They're scary. They're scary to me. It is a scary. They are scary characters. But
yeah, no, they're kind of freaky. Those aren't your grandparents.
Oh God. It's
just,
there's also just funny things about the movie, but
yeah, no, it's definitely one of the more entertaining M. Night Shyamalan later movies.
Yeah,
because he had like 2 bangers, then Split was pretty good, but like in between then it's not great. And
yeah,
this is actually entertaining.
It was.
It
I
does
personally
not
put them in scary. I like them.
Yeah, I won't remotely put it higher than scary. That's the highest I'd put.
Oh yeah. They're nowhere near the iconic.
Yeah.
But like I'd rather rewatch The Visit than these two. I feel like.
I'm gonna try something real quick.
I would go with that.
Don't freak out if this doesn't work. I'll remove it immediately, but just want to see.
What are you doing?
Okay, cool.
That's
cool,
fine.
Cool.
Nah.
Oh God, what have you done to me?
Oh, I made you. You're a Deadite demon thing from the Evil Ash versus Evil Dead.
Oh God. Or is anyone again scary? What do you guys want to put it?
No, I'll go scary for that. I'd probably put it a step lower, but I can be talking to scary.
What about?
I think scary is fine because I know it's definitely not the top 2, and I don't think it's bad enough to be in the bottom 2. But
yeah. Because remember, like this is scary, but also like just good, like a good horror villain. All right, fine. Next up, we have Winnie the Pooh from Blood and Honey.
I have not seen Blood and Honey. I've only heard terrible things.
Yeah, I heard it sucks really bad.
I haven't seen it, but I don't like the design of it. So
no, the design looks awful.
Speak for yourself, Artie. Speak for yourself. I'm fucking mortified by it.
So I've seen it, and it is absolutely good. No, yeah, it's not great. There's a cool premise from like the very beginning of like the whole thought of what happens to the animals after Christopher Robin leaves, and it's actually quite fucking horrifying what happened. But the actual like horror parts of it and like the whole slasher elements, it's just not a very good movie,
right?
And I would not. So how strong are your feelings towards it?
I'd say fucking. I mean, I don't have any feelings.
Yeah, I personally haven't seen it. I've heard just shit things about it. So
I honestly think it's a horror villain. I guess is the tier that this is made for.
Yeah,
it exists.
Because I could have been all right with people saying hate if anyone was like a Winnie the Pooh lover here, because it is.
Well, maybe once I watch it, but
yeah.
For anyone that doesn't know, Winnie the Pooh is actually, it's anybody can just make a Winnie the Pooh thing.
It went public domain almost as soon as it went public domain.
No, this is made by Lucasfilm.
Oh, it was made by Lucasfilm. Okay, directed by George Lucas.
Yeah. All right. Next up, just straight. Then we have Final No.
Wait, what? So what? Yeah, who was that?
This one is for Bob.
Oh, that's Ash.
So we have Ash Ketchum.
I would say goated on Ash for me.
He's personally the only one who's probably here.
Goat.
Dude, I love Evil Dead 2, and I love the TV series. Those and Army of Darkness is pretty funny. So yeah,
I don't
it's
have many
great,
strong
for sure.
feelings towards Ash, so I'm just gonna go with what you guys.
It's Bruce Campbell. How do you not have strong feelings? What?
Well, is he Timothy Chalamet? I didn't think
He's
so.
better.
All right. We're going goated. Next up, so I just searched up death, and this is what I came up with. And Final Destination, and just like the concept of death in it.
Oh,
I don't know
okay.
if this is too abstract for us. But
It is kind of abstract.
yeah,
Final
not like
Destination
death
is
in an
kind of
action, like in a like an abstract way, just only in that series of movies.
like it is kind of like that movie. The villain is almost like wild coincidences. Like just
Yeah, exactly.
extreme shit that results in these brutal murders.
But also, like, that shit is one of the things that scares me the most. Just like freak accidents, and just like coincidences killing me. Like a fucking train going past me, and then like I get my head chopped off somehow. That's something that like actually
I
scares
lean
me.
towards scary on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say if we're talking about the first one, I would say it was very scary to me.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if it I don't know if you could count that as goated or iconic, but it's definitely scary. I mean, there is an argument that Final Destination itself has become like culturally relevant in terms of people making jokes and things about this is the final destination for me or whatever. It has done that, but I don't know if that's enough to put it in like iconic status.
I'm fine with scary. I'd say it's like a good horror icon for me.
That seems reasonable.
What about you, Dane?
He's BRB.
Oh, never mind then. Exorcist.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
it's
girl
top
or the
2 for
demon.
sure. Shit.
Yeah.
Where do we want to put that? God.
I would say goated, probably either goated or
be
iconic.
talked into goated.
Like it almost has to be, right?
Dude. Like, yeah, that little girl saying that crazy shit. Yeah, it's gotta be goated. And like the director's cut that came out that
frankly that
made
was
it even
crazy.
creepier.
Oh, the one where it says "Shut up, Bob." Yeah, that's
that was a good one. But the spider walk was just a great addition too. Just I gotta go goated on The Exorcist. Little girls screaming terrible things fucking works, and spitting out pea soup. So much pea soup.
All right, goated. Next we have the Babadook.
It's been a while since I've seen this one.
That's been sort of a joke character, I think. Now people make fun of it.
Yeah, it's creepy though.
It is creepy. I would say between scary and iconic. Definitely not goated for me.
I don't know if it goes iconic though.
Maybe we should save this one for Dane because he was the one who actually suggested it. So maybe he has
let's do
like
that.
feelings towards it. I'm just gonna put it.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right, Dracula, and there's many renditions. I think is this the Nosferatu version? Just in general, Count Dracula.
Does he go for like goated just based purely on legacy?
Like, is he the most iconic, just like horror icon?
I would say
ever?
close to it. Yeah, I would say.
Right?
Yeah,
like what else is up there?
I don't know what else could possibly compete. I mean, Jesus. I mean, he is the vampire.
Yeah, like Frankenstein is also well known, but like I don't know if anything is like has the same balls as fucking Dracula.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
But is that iconic? Like, do we personally think he's goated?
I think Dracula's iconic, but there's so many iterations. I don't know if I'm comfortable putting him in goated.
That's true. There are some shitty.
I mean, which version will we be talking about?
Exists.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like he's had so many versions of him that we've seen. I feel like iconic is the safest place to put him.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's based on Hotel Transylvania, then
yeah.
But like
we've had Gary Oldman as Dracula, but we've also had Adam Sandler, and we've had whoever the fuck did him in Blade 3.
Oh god, yeah. It's also kind of like he's like top of like he is the most iconic, but I wouldn't personally put him like greatest of all time. All right.
Next with that.
Next we have so this is like multiple things, but it's from Fear Street, like that trilogy.
Oh, I would say like scary to me on that one.
Yeah, I'd agree. It's nothing like too revolutionary, but I think it's really cool. It also helps that there's like it's not just this person, you know?
Right.
Like it's all the killers from that trilogy. because it's all kind of like it's the same.
Are you not familiar with it, Bob?
No, I'm not familiar.
You've not watched Fear Street from Netflix?
Nope.
Oh, I can't blame you. No, it's actually, I found it interesting, especially like the whole like it all came out at the same time, the whole trilogy.
Was that the thing where it was like different decades, or was that something else?
Yes, yeah, that's the
okay.
one.
Yeah, I remember that sounded interesting, but I never got around to watching it.
Yeah, I'm fine with scary.
Yeah, I'm good with scary.
All right. Next up, we have Frankenstein's monster.
That's definitely iconic.
Yeah, I feel like that's another Dracula thing. We've had so many versions of it.
Yeah.
I would put him in iconic 100%.
Yeah,
there's arguments that some of these characters, like there probably are Frankensteins that you could look back and go, oh, that's goated. But I don't know if we're just talking generally Frankenstein as a monster.
Yeah.
I would say iconic is
like, yeah, when I think about it, it's iconic, but I don't get the same feeling towards them as I get for like the fucking Xenomorph, you know?
Right, correct.
They're just not on the same level to me. Next we have the Creeper from Jeepers Creepers.
I've only seen other people cover these. I've never watched one.
I actually really liked the first one. I thought the first one was really good. The second one was okay. I don't think iconic or goated. I would say scary for the Creeper.
Yeah, I put like high up at like
yeah,
scary. I mean, I know these aren't ranked, but it's still just like yeah, like it's a top tier scary. Yeah. Next we have The Collector. Have you guys watched it?
The Collector.
I love it because of this like mask he wears and his lips just stick out of it, and it's
oh yeah, I have seen that. I would it's a horror villain, I guess. It's not very scary to me.
For me it was a very like, oh, I was with my friends, we just like ordered a pizza, we were a little bit drunk, let's put on a horror movie, you know.
Yeah, that's what it gives me 100%. Yeah.
Next we have Bagul from Sinister. So Sinister used to be one of my favorite horror movies.
Wow.
Because
yeah,
of like
the first one's really good.
Yeah. Like the whole fucking hidden camera footage and just like the way those murders were done, I was like, damn, that freaked me out. It was never truly like the monster that scared me in that movie.
Yeah.
That wasn't what I was like, oh, that's like the good part of this.
Yeah. No, that was just a well-made movie.
It is, yeah. Sinister is good. I personally put it in
scary.
Yeah, I don't know if I
the
definitely don't
not
think
even memorable to me.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think it's the monster that you remember when you're watching that. So I would say scary.
Yeah. He is scary, but he's not iconic. Like he's not even the main part of that movie, I say. Next we have The Grudge, which I feel like these two, like this one about Babadook, we should still wait for Dane because he suggested them.
Okay.
I'm
good.
I mean, I also have feelings about The Grudge, but like, yeah. All right, Norman Bates.
Probably either goated or
like
iconic.
Yeah. Like, okay, so I'm not a fan of Psycho 3. Psycho 2 is super underrated in my opinion. I thought Psycho 2 is really good, and the original is just fucking amazing.
The original is like, I feel maybe because we put Birds in hate, I feel like we need to give Alfred Hitchcock like
this one I feel comfortable putting this one in goated 100%.
Yeah. Anthony Perkins' performance is just kind of brilliant. How he's just like socially awkward and weird, but like scary at the same time. Kind of brilliant.
I'd agree. That's goated. All right, then we have Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs.
Awesome. Dude. I love him. I don't know if I'd quite put him with goated, but
yeah.
I mean,
I would say he's definitely iconic, but then you gotta talk about the problematic nature of the guy.
Yeah.
He is also a horror villain. So.
They did like, it's an interesting Silence of the Lambs because it's problematic, but like they do go out of their way to try to not be problematic, but yeah.
It doesn't change the fact that I think that probably created some pretty bad
for sure
tropes in people's mind.
For sure. Maybe for that reason we should put in the hate. So probably led to hate crimes.
I can't quite like Ted Levine does a great performance. He is creepy as hell, and it's a fantastic.
I am totally okay with it being iconic because I do think it is memorable, but we just need to recognize that it was a problematic performance.
Yeah.
But... It's literally one of my favorite movies, but it's problematic.
Yeah. All right. There you go, Buffalo Bill. All right. Okay, so we have two of these that are this is either this is Hills Have Eyes, I think.
Oh,
the other
remake
one
or
is
the original?
I don't know. I just searched it. I don't remember.
I mean, because honestly, the remake is actually pretty fucking brutal, and
yeah,
I mean, I guess the original is too, but like the remake, it kind of fucked with me. I wasn't expecting it to go that hard when I saw it.
Hills Have Eyes is pretty good, and these people are just freaky.
Yeah.
I will say this: I don't have a particular affinity for any category for them, but I'm totally comfortable with like anything above scary. I think, depending on where you guys want to go with it.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely wouldn't put it above scary.
I would say they're not iconic, right? Like, iconic is like if you took one of these and asked like random people on the street, would most of them know what they are looking at?
Yeah,
kind of thing,
like
right?
like with these ones, we have Dracula, Jigsaw, Jason, all Frankenstein, right? We can't put we don't even know who they are. We just but I still think they're scary.
Yeah, they're scary. I'd go with scary.
I can't put them higher than scary though.
But I would also be fine with it's a horror villain because I get their own status as the icon isn't really what drives those movies, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
If it makes sense. But I guess that's the same for scary. I guess they're scary.
They more represent a concept than a character.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But so does death. So
true.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. Where's the Grim Reaper from Bill and Ted?
Yeah. So next up, we have white people. No. I didn't really know what to do for the Invisible Man, so I kind of just
okay
went for white.
Chevy Chase. I don't know.
Gordy, get down.
So there's both the older Invisible Man and there's the newer one.
I'm trying to think. The newer one was good, but wasn't so much for the villain.
Yeah,
kind of just a creepy stalker dude.
I'm fine with just
it's like almost like Sinister. It was just a well-made movie. The villain,
exactly,
or break it. Yeah.
I'm fine with just it's a horror villain, I guess,
or scary. I could go for scary with it, but
yeah. I mean, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I'd rather rewatch that than these.
True.
Absolutely.
All right, we're putting it there. Now we have
why?
Now we have the STD.
Oh,
from
dude,
It Follows.
It Follows is.
Oh my god, this is scary as fuck. I don't know if it's good or iconic, but this movie scared the shit out of me. I was like, what is this movie?
For me personally, this is a goated.
For me, any movie, and there's another one I think that any movie that I'm not big on ghost movies. They normally don't fuck with me at all, but there's a couple, and it's the one where the ghost is just gonna follow you no matter what. It's gonna be there every time you turn around. That shit eventually fucking gets under my skin, and I'm just like, oh god damn it. And this is definitely one of those. I'd say iconic in my opinion, but I'd be fine with scary if that's not iconic to others.
For me, I'd put it in goated.
I was gonna say
I don't be talked up because I just think it's a great fucking movie.
Okay.
For me, just the idea of this thing, right? It just is always following you. You never you can never feel safe.
And then the secondary horror of the only way to get rid of it is to get it after somebody else. Right? That's pretty fucking,
it flips the script. It flips the script and makes the protagonist the antagonist. It's really interesting.
Yeah, exactly.
It turns you into the villain. Ooh.
For me, I feel like it's almost above iconic. I don't know if I'd say it's necessarily iconic the same way that these are. It's just it's a goated.
I think it's goated just from the fact that it did something that we haven't seen in other horror movies. So
I mean, it also helps.
It's kind of like how Saw. It's kind of like how Saw makes the people choose. You know what I mean? To kill someone or to be killed. This movie does the same thing, but I think it's scarier to me because it's not
have any weakness at all. As far as I know, there is no weakness to the thing. You can kind of deflect it a bit, but for a little while.
Yeah,
right?
no, you just have to like.
I mean, you could find somebody you hate and stick it after the person you hate, but that's about all you can do.
But then it's still going to come after you after
Yeah,
that, right?
after it kills them, and that it also has one of my favorite endings of any horror movie. Like the thing where they're just walking like hand to hand walking down the street, and then in the background you start seeing something start to follow them. You have no clue if it's just a random person, but like,
yep,
that's just scary.
Yeah, it's like this irrational fear at play, which is
yeah,
and that just makes it scarier than most of these.
STD ghost. It's goated.
Goated STDs. All right, then we have Jack from The Shining.
Iconic. I would put him in iconic.
Yeah,
for me.
he's iconic or goated. Jesus.
Hey, Eric, buddy, why don't you kind of like stop being annoying and troll and chat, and actually pay attention to what we're talking about and participate.
Jack Nicholson's performance is amazing.
Goated.
He is creepy as fuck. Stanley Kubrick is fucking great.
Side thing here, but like, what did you guys think of the guy that played Jack Torrance in Dr. Sleep? Like his performance of that.
I thought he did a solid job. It's obviously not Jack, but like,
right. I don't think he was trying to.
Fine. Yeah.
Like do exactly that, but he was trying to. The spirit of it was there.
Yeah. No, that movie had like this impossible job that did remarkably well. It was to be a sequel to that movie, but also be faithful to Stephen King, who famously hated that movie, and somehow it pulls it off remarkably well. Yeah.
It's a sequel to both the movie and the book in a way.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. All right. That's an easy goat. Next up, we have The Grudge. And
I don't have strong feelings.
Are we talking about the one from the original films or the ones from the US version?
Ooh.
I mean, I think that it doesn't matter because I've seen
ones.
both in the design and just the concept of it and everything. For me, it's the same in both of them.
Okay.
I'd say goated, but I'd be fine with iconic, just because that's the other one with It Follows that fucking just freaked me the fuck out.
Yeah,
I mean, it's got to be iconic, right? Like, if I'm
definitely like I'm leaning towards iconic.
I'm trying to remember something. Hold on, let me just look this up quickly.
To me, also like The Grudge is the better. Like, there's another one on this list that reminds me of The Grudge, but like I think The Grudge is better.
Yeah, I would say either iconic or goated. I'm good with either one of those. Personally, I remember just that when I saw that movie the first time, it's such a roller coaster ride, and like where it starts and where you end up. Yeah. So for me, I'm good with either one of those, whichever.
So, Dan, you're leaning towards goat, right?
Yeah, I mean,
because I'm also kind of in between. So I think if you want to put in goat, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, I'm good with that too.
Okay, sure.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I just remember that movie. Like all the stuff that came afterwards from that movie does sort of lean into the goated, I think, because everyone tried to copy that movie. Like it became like a genre in itself.
Yep.
Yeah. Next we have The Babadook. We saved this one for you, Dane.
What's funny is that I added that to the list, but I have not seen the movie.
Oh my god!
We were like, let's save that for Dane.
We were like, we should hold off on it.
I've heard lots of people say it's really good things. So
Okay, I've seen it. Has anybody else seen it?
I have seen it.
It's been a while. I saw it when
it
it
is
came out.
okay. So the Babadook itself is not really the main thing in the movie. It's more of a psychological film.
Yeah.
But the Babadook does eventually show up. I would say for me, it's not really scary, but I know iconic is above scary, but I feel like the Babadook itself is more iconic than it is scary, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
That's a good way. Like people, like you say the Babadook, people have the visual in mind for the Babadook, even though
I mean, I just remember every year that people say the Babadook is a gay icon or something, which I think is hilarious. Even though it has nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Oh, I look good as a xenomorph. I know it came across very well. That's pretty cool. The just the protraction coming out there. Yeah. Great.
I'm fine with iconic. Like I'd say, yeah.
I'm totally on iconic. Yeah.
The Babadook. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that works.
Next up, we have our Lord and Savior, Patrick Bateman.
Oh, this is an interesting one because, like, Christian Bale does a great performance. I love, like, obviously he has his discussion on Huey Lewis in the News and Genesis, which is, fucking great stuff. But he doesn't actually kill anybody in that movie.
Or does he? No, he kind of seems like he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
I would say I would say scary or iconic for me, only because I think there's an argument for both of those.
I think he's iconic.
Yeah, I would say more iconic than scary, but
I'd say so too. I love that movie. I need to just not like get affected by all the fucking idiots who like just misinterpret what the movie's about, and then they like see him as their hero. I just need to put
weird.
that.
Yeah,
I need to put that aside and be like, you know what? I like it.
Yeah,
it's like
guys for the right reasons.
Psycho yuppie, okay.
Yeah.
Which is the thing we need to get a conversation we need to have sometime is just characters that are that problem exists with.
Yeah.
Like Joker, Rorschach and stuff.
Yeah, Homelander.
All right. Yep. I'll BRB for a second.
Yeah. Anakin Skywalker. All right.
Yeah,
next
I'm comfortable with iconic just for the Huey Lewis speech.
Yeah. Is this just a funny movie?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next up we have Lake Placide.
Oh god.
The crocodile.
Oh god, that's like we should have one like
I haven't seen it.
I know that I shouldn't be complaining about the tier list after it's already made, but like I feel like now that we're realizing it, there should be a tier for like just goofy as fuck. Like who?
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wait, is this that's the one where
scary?
Is that the one where it ate Samuel L. Jackson?
No, that's
I think
Deep Blue Sea.
Deep Blue
Sea. Is that it?
Yeah.
I always get those confused.
He gets the hero speech and it just eats him right in the middle of it.
Yeah. That's funny.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I'm not helpful on Lake Placid at all.
Okay. I feel like I gotta put it next to just Anaconda.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean that seems like honestly where it goes, just what I know of those movies.
What? Have you seen something?
Lack of pee-pee head? Are you talking about Pumpkinhead? What's missing?
Wait, who?
I don't know. I feel like I thought she was saying that something was missing from the.
Oh wait,
list.
I can't see the. Oh,
what is pee-pee head?
No clue.
I
What is that alligator? That is not an alligator, my friend. That is a crocodile.
That's the tier we needed. Camp.
Crocodiles and alligators are very different. Alligators live in the U.S., and like most things in the U.S., they're fucking lame compared to their African counterparts.
True.
I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that's terrifying.
No, but crocodiles are just objectively cooler than alligators. I don't know if any of you guys would have any strong feelings about that.
If it's subjective, why do we disagree?
Well, it's been a while since I lived in Florida, but I remember it being a thing where essentially alligators are actually fairly passive unless
exactly
territory.
Crocodiles are
fucking
not
attack you. They don't.
Crocodiles are fucking pieces of shit.
Like if an alligator's out of its territory, it comes across you, it'll leave you alone.
Yeah, a crocodile will hunt you down.
Yeah,
all right.
Crocodile does not.
Yeah. All right. So I've put. Yeah, I'd say they're pretty similar. Next up, we have a less well-known one. We have Michael Myers.
Oh, dude, Wayne's World was great. I love that movie. Austin Powers, the first one was good.
Austin Powers was good.
Oh, he's great in Shrek. I love that shit.
I like whenever he showed up in fucking Inglourious Bastards. That was cool.
Yeah, that was just so random, but it worked, man.
Mm-hmm. I remember Michael Myers in Call of Duty Ghosts. That was a good time.
I'd say put him in GOAT for that alone.
Yeah, Michael Myers is GOAT.
Michael Myers is a GOATed.
Halloween is like the best of the slasher movies. Like it is unreal how good that movie is.
But it's also got it's everything, right? Like there's great ones, there's fucking atrocious ones. There's a couple of different like kind of restart things. I don't know about you guys, but I actually fucking think that this recent trilogy is going to be looked back upon as very fondly in the future. Even the last one that a lot of people
I
didn't
have
like.
mixed feelings about Ends, but like 2018 was really good. I think Kills gets underrated a bit. I think Kills has some value to it. But yeah, just like growing up, you had Michael, Freddy, and Jason. Those are the three big ones. That original Halloween movie is the best those guys ever had by like almost a mile. It is insanely good how great John Carpenter's Halloween.
Well, because it does so much with so little. Like it doesn't really do as much as you would expect a slasher movie to do.
And when my kids are over for Halloween, the movie we have to watch is Halloween or Shining. It's gonna be one of those two.
Yeah,
The Shining.
The Shining.
It is. Yeah, there's no question. It's a goated.
Yeah.
Next we have Norman Nordstrom from Don't Breathe. He's the
Oh,
blind
God.
guy who's like a fucking badass.
He's pretty fucking rough.
You
I
got
mean,
me
he's
again. I
definitely
haven't seen
scary,
it.
at least.
I'd put scary. Like he's not iconic or anything, but
No, okay.
At
I don't
least
know. It's pretty
wouldn't-
iconic whenever he's putting that jizz in that baster and there's like a pube in there. It's pretty iconic.
That is iconic. No, like I like this movie. It's he has like a force, like a forcefulness to him that I don't even like remember seeing like fucking like Jason having, you know?
Yeah.
Like he's brutal.
Well, it's like the kind of a contrast of like him being what seems like a helpless old blind man, but then
Exactly.
like he is absolutely gonna fucking he's very capable.
He's going to destroy you.
I just want to say I'm happy to see love for Halloween 3. Michael Myers isn't in Halloween 3. That's why I didn't bring it up. But Halloween 3 is underrated. Like that is
As
just such
its
a
own
creepy
thing, it is
fucking
fun
movie.
and stupid
Yeah.
and fun.
It's creepy too, man. It's a
Yeah,
it's a
I
well done
avoided the
little horror
sequel
movie.
to Don't Breathe for a while because I was like, no, you can't fucking redeem this guy. He's a fucking rapist. You don't redeem him. And it really doesn't.
Yeah.
It does get him in a position where he's kind of the protagonist in a weird way, but like he's also is a piece of shit that gets what's coming to him. So like,
Yeah. Like if he hadn't had his basement thing going on in the first one, I would have been a lot more.
Who are we on? Who
We're
are we
on
talking about?
the guy from Don't Breathe, Norman. What he's called, like the old blind.
Oh,
guy.
okay, yeah. I would say scary for me.
Yeah.
So just so you know, the city just alerted us there might be a gas leak 2 houses down from me. So they might come back and tell us we have to leave for like a few hours. So if that happens, I may have to go. Just a heads up. So gas leaks are
absolutely not okay.
are absolutely scary because that can
They are.
if that blows up, it's like it's pretty bad. Pretty bad.
And there was that whole season of Community with the gas leak.
Yeah, so we'll figure things out. Anyway, right now they just came and told us they're investigating, so I don't know what's going to happen.
Okay, yeah. But if you need to leave, just
Yeah. I mean,
Please
gas
don't
leaks
blow
are
up
terrifying. Look what's happening to the
I mean,
young kids right now.
priorities, right?
Oh.
Gas leak or the stream. I don't know which
I
one.
mean, tell them that you just got to finish the tier list.
Right, just hold off until I'm done with this.
Yeah.
All right, who's next?
Next up, we have Hannibal Lecter.
Goat.
Goat.
And this for me is a goat. Like
I
Silence
mean,
of the Lambs is.
I don't think there's an argument against a goat with Silence of the Lambs. I mean, it's just
No, it is.
Yeah.
Well,
one of my
even
favorite
like
horror
even Hannibal, which is not like a great movie, he's still fucking great in it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
he's still excellent.
Anthony
I mean,
Hopkins is
I
just
think
brilliant.
like Anthony Hopkins is the best performance of it, but Mads Mikkelsen in the TV series was fucking good too.
I agree.
Yeah, Hannibal Lecter, fucking yeah.
Yeah, very good. Next up we have Cujo, the dog.
Cujo is scary. I don't know if it's iconic or goated. but-
Yeah, I lean towards scary on that one.
It's not. It's scary because it's an animal. Like animals are, you can't reason with an animal. So it's
and
makes it
especially
kinda
like
frightening.
a dog, you know, like we have an anaconda and a crocodile, but those will kill you even if they aren't like.
But a dog is supposed to be a nice cuddly friend, like not
Exactly.
a killing at us.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
I put scary.
Scary.
Next up, we have Kevin from Split, and that.
Oh God, is that who that
this
is?
This is such an underrated movie. For me, I would put him in iconic because I feel like it's just an iconic character. But I understand if people don't want to.
I don't know if I can quite put him in iconic. It's a solid movie, and
You
like
know
like James McAvoy is amazing in the role, and like it felt like it would be kind of like a renaissance for M. Night Shyamalan, but then you find out it was actually an old script he had sitting around, and then Glass came out and was kind of like,
I like to imagine it as like a prequel to X-Men. And like he's still just playing Professor X.
Yeah, right before First Class.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it is a bit problematic. That's true. That whole thing is, but at the same time, I kind of it's fine.
He's also got superpowers too. So
I mean, here's the issue: is that and I think sometimes we get caught up on this as like I do believe that we have to leave room for people that are bad, even if they represent something in the world that
I've gotten into with a friend before.
You just have to understand what it is. And the reality is, and we get this a lot, and I don't want to go off on a tangent, but we get this a lot where people say, oh, well, you shouldn't do certain things at certain times because then people will take it the wrong way or whatever when it comes to expression or storytelling, when it comes to gay characters. And I feel like you have to really look at each individual thing and decide what it is and how it's being portrayed. Because if we start thinking that way, that's exactly what they want. They don't want things represented because they'll go, oh, this is bad or whatever. We end up falling on the side of censorship. And I don't necessarily know if everything needs to be censored. Just acknowledge that it is problematic.
Right.
Like Artie was saying, you acknowledge it's problematic, but also you shouldn't not do it simply because it represents a bad character. We just have to understand.
I have a real reluctance toward people just trying to make hard and fast rules for what you can and can't create as far as storytelling.
Yeah. It's different if your entire purpose is to like make an entire community look bad. That's a completely different conversation to be had.
I mean,
of course.
Here, pop counterculture. That performance is basically stunt acting, homeboy. It's showing off.
Yeah, I mean, he's amazing.
Are you talking about Ricky Little? What are you talking about?
Yeah. No, I mean, he's right. Like, I remember watching part of that thinking, wow, this is like an acting reel for James McAvoy
really is.
at times. But like, he's good. He's fucking good. So I don't know if that's necessarily a slight because I enjoy it.
No, I don't think that would definitely not be one that we would feel. I wouldn't feel comfortable even rating that.
Ooh, that one's really problematic. Ooh,
we talked about it with what you call it? Or we mentioned it earlier in the list. I'm looking to see where it's at.
Buffalo Bill.
Yes, Buffalo Bill. Sorry, I was brain farting there. How that is also a problematic role, but it's iconic, and I think people in the community accept it for what it is. Like,
you can also tell in that movie and the story in general, like they're not trying to do that. Like they go out of their way to say he's not trans. Like,
and like
they're
you can
trying to say
you can see that you can see that as like incidental to him being a serial killer, whereas like Angela in Sleepaway Camp, it's like the thing is built around that, around the whole gender reveal, that shit. Like it's and it's all done for
reveal.
It's very exploitative the way it's revealed and shit. So
I actually think there's movies that are not horror movies that have done more irreparable harm to queer people than those roles. I mean, one of the ones that I think people think of as iconically, which I think is still wrong, is the whole what is it? The Boy George song. What's the name of that movie? With the The Crying Game. I'm having an issue.
I never saw that.
Shit. So to me, The Crying Game has done more harm. I mean, it is a iconic movie, right? People remember it and they quote it all the time. But that's a movie where it just feeds into this stereotype about trans people and. Yeah.
Isn't like the character just played by like actually a really fucking gorgeous woman too?
No, it's the guy that was also in the Stargate movie as well.
Yeah, he was a villain.
Completely misremembering what else. Never mind.
So, but either way, like stuff like that does more harm because the whole point of that movie was getting to the scene where she takes off her dress and it's a trans woman. That's right. That's the whole point of that film, and the guy being disgusted
die because of stuff just like that.
Yeah, I think there were some interesting talking points in that movie. We're completely off topic now. There's interesting talking points in that movie to be had, but I think ultimately, like something like that, I think it leads to more issues than like a horror movie, in my opinion. Because when you go into a horror movie, you know what you're going in.
Yeah,
for, you know what I mean.
Fair point. Yeah.
There's a degree of not taking it seriously when you're going into horror that drama doesn't quite allow.
Pink Bunny, I'm just saying, like, I'm talking about the argument from the standpoint of making something that people could use as a weapon against you. That's the argument I'm making. Not that it's not important or that it's not a good movie or that it addresses some issues. There's a lot of people in conservative spaces that constantly use the crying game as a punchline. And I don't think that it shouldn't be made for that reason. I'm saying that movie I see used more often than you know, any of the other stuff we've talked about here is the crying game. Next one, let's move on.
Next one is Godzilla.
Ooh.
Godzilla's a good one. That first movie holds up extremely well too. 1954's Godzilla is really still good if you watch it today.
I wouldn't have thought of Godzilla like that, but
I'm not against it. I lean towards at least iconic.
I mean, I guess you kind of just have to say the only reason I wouldn't want to say GOAT is because I still have a hard time framing him in my mind as like horror, but I guess that's what it is, right? Like, especially if you're post atomic bomb Japan, and you're that
it's all about the horrors of nuclear.
You know, the thing about Godzilla, I feel very similar to Frankenstein and Dracula. We've had so many versions of Godzilla.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just really difficult to nail it down. At the very least, Godzilla is iconic to me. You could argue some versions of Godzilla are goated, but not all of them are goated. I think the more iterations of something you have, the less likely to be goated it is.
Yeah.
I feel like the more it goes on, the more likely something's going to be bad. But I don't know. We've had some really good Godzilla. We've had some really bad Godzilla. I'm comfortable putting Godzilla in iconic, to be honest.
I think this is also where I'm leaning. I mean, because it is iconic. It is also like it defined a whole genre, you know, of like the big monster movies.
What? They're coming out with a Godzilla movie? Whoa.
They're also coming out with a Godzilla TV show, which looks really fucking good. I can't wait for that.
They're literally in the comics right now doing Justice League versus Godzilla. And,
I saw that.
Nice. That sounds awesome.
That sounds amazing.
I like the argument that it's like with Frankenstein and Dracula.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Yeah. All right. Next up, we have The Nun. Now, I'm personally at a hate.
I've only seen the first one. It sucked.
But I didn't like this at all. Yeah, I'm leaning towards hate with The Nun. I don't.
I can go with
but I'm fine with going with hate because I typically just do not like horror movies that have like Christianity as the fucking framing device. Like you have to believe in Christianity.
Isn't it the lowest hanging fruit? And when it comes to stuff like this, I feel like it's the like it's so easy to go, oh, let's just do religion and then flip it on its head. It's just the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, it can be good, but like not The Nun. Ugh.
No.
Yeah, I'm just like, I just don't like The Nun.
Yeah.
Next
iconic.
We have
iconic or goated, easy. Iconic.
Yeah,
or goated,
Kathy Bates was great. What's the character? I'm brain farting.
Annie Wilkes, right?
Annie Wilkes. Okay. Terrifying.
The
really
leg
terrifying.
Scene.
The super fan.
I can't watch that scene. I always turn away, even though I know it's fake.
I think it's kind of designed to make people turn away. Like,
yeah,
it's really well done. Yeah, I think that's definitely an icon.
I think that I can go with that for Misery.
Fair enough.
It's either that or GOAT for me. I'd say.
I'd say iconic is better. It feels more comfortable.
It's no low. I like if it were scary, I'd think that'd be a crime for how low it is. So it's
like if you put her next to Hannibal Lecter, you kind of see the difference there. I feel like you can.
But also if you put him next to Kevin, you know, like you also see
there's a
that
difference there too.
Yeah. Like she can hang with these guys.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
That seems reasonable. Yeah.
All right. Next up we have Ghostface.
I mean,
there
kind
are
of GOAT,
so
right?
many different ghost faces. I don't even know where to begin. There's
kind of like as the concept, though, the fact that it is something that people keep returning to, you know, both in the story and that it keeps working in for movies, right? Like I just saw the newest one not too long ago. I was like, holy shit, this is great! Like it was a really fucking good movie.
The sixth one's the best one, not by Kevin Williamson. So
I was not expecting the sixth movie to be like so much better than the last several, but
well, I mean, I think it's worth saying, like, Scream 3 is my least favorite I don't hate it. It's definitely
Yeah.
weak though, and
I
So,
would. I'm okay with either goated or iconic. I don't really care
Yeah.
either way.
yeah,
I guess
think-
maybe okay. Let me think about this. Hold
I
on.
think
He's
it goes
definitely-
all over the place. Like, obviously, I think Billy's a great killer, but like Roman's nowhere. So
Yeah.
it might be kind of like the iconic ones where it just kind of goes all over the place.
Maybe he doesn't deserve to be next to Norman Bates, Terminator, Predator, Pazuzu. Yeah, he's probably iconic, I guess. But high up on iconic.
For me, he's like he was Ghostface was my go-to costume when I was younger. Like every year, because I had like a Ghostface
so young.
mask. And because like he's probably like the big icon from like my generation, I'd say.
I agree with that. I would say that's probably accurate.
I mean, so like Freddy Krueger was my guy, and like Ghostface is actually commentary on Freddy Krueger, if that tells you anything.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. The things I also part of like the whole like there's many different iterations. To me, that is almost like a cool thing because it's not like with Frankenstein and Dracula, like those are still the same character. Whereas Ghostface is kind of like,
it's literally different characters.
Yeah, and it's like a persona, you know. It's like.
So it's really funny. You're right. So Ghostface is other people playing the same character, whereas Frankenstein and Dracula are other people in the roles of those characters.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
Yeah,
That's my only thing where I'm like that's my reasoning for it being different than that and still putting it.
It's like meta. It's almost meta in a way. You know what I mean?
So it's like even the bad ones, I'm like, I don't mind as much, you know?
Yeah.
But if you guys want to put it in iconic, I'm fine with it.
I'm okay with goated. That makes sense. You make a valid argument. I mean,
Yeah,
it's so
you're making
meta
good
that
arguments for goated.
it's almost like it's a character playing a character of a character. It's really, really fucking weird.
You know, this is kind of gets into the stuff that I like talking about with this. Is like, so are we thinking like, and I think we've talked about it a little bit so far, but the effect, the cultural effect of Ghostface is pretty fucking huge.
Yeah,
you know, you remember there was a Scary Movie, and you know,
I mean, it spawned its own parody of. It's a parody of a. It spawned off a parody of a parody, basically.
Right. Yeah, it's kind of just keeps on giving, and it's really, for being such a simple fucking design, it's kind of impressive.
Yeah,
it's just a lot of like the slasher movies that have come since have like a lot of them have been very inspired. Like you can tell.
Oh,
you know what Ghostface is like? Ghostface is like the horror movie version of Spider-Man. Because it's like anybody can be behind the mask, you know what I mean?
Exactly. It'll fit eventually.
What I think is interesting is that like the Scream movies were so influential that even started bringing back some of the older slashers and new iterations. Because after Scream, you got Halloween H2O. I know there's more than that, but like it was a big deal.
It was.
And let's face it, as far as horror franchises, it probably has one of the better track records.
Yeah,
True.
I could go for goated.
I'll vote for goated as well.
Hell yeah, awesome. All right, next up we have Jaws.
Goated. I'd put Jaws and goated for me. I feel like that's a
dude. That's just such an amazing movie. Oh my god, the first Jaws is.
I mean,
I haven't even seen any of the sequels. But I love the first.
Jaws created the summer blockbuster. That was that movie created what a summer blockbuster is. So
Jaws,
yeah,
like my mom's generation, I remember her telling me that like that kids were fucking terrified of going into literally going into the water. Like that was the tagline or whatever, but like it was also just
it still persists today. That
exactly
simple John Williams stinger.
Yeah,
I mean, I do feel bad for like people who like sharks and like marine biologists and stuff, because there's been a big effort to try to get people away, like to get the stigma surrounding sharks away because of what this movie spawned.
Oh yeah, you're not going to get me to see sharks as fucking cute and cuddly. Sorry.
No, I mean, but not right. But it's like there's still so many people who've watched Jaws who are like deathly afraid of sharks, when sharks are not like one of the things that will kill you.
I mean, we wouldn't have stuff like the Meg and Sharknado if it wasn't for Jaws. I mean, those movies only exist because of Jaws.
So actually,
I don't know if that's a point
put Jaws
favor,
down.
But yeah, no. But no, the original Jaws is so goddamn good.
First Jaws is really good.
Yeah,
but are you guys sure you don't want to put it down by its buddies?
Absolutely
Crocodile?
not. No, it's not even
fair.
cheesy like those ones. It's actually just a really good movie.
That is true. Jaws is amazing. All right, next up we have the better doll. We have Chucky.
I'm like Brad. I love Brad Dourif. I lean towards iconic with this one.
I'm gonna say goat because because let me make my case for you. Okay. See, what's his name? Don Mancini, is that his name? The guy, the creator. Chucky is the only one of the kind of OG. He wasn't quite OG, but he was part of the original run of like the iconic slashers that got big in the 80s and 90s. He's the only one that has the same continuity throughout. If you ignore that fucking dumb, version that they did with Mark Hamill as the Android version, and it doesn't count. But like the only continuity that's the same that Mancini's been involved with all of it, and it's also evolved to the point where the TV show, because Mancini's a gay guy, and he is now able to write and produce this show where the main character's gay, a little gay kid. He's able to it's about bullying and using Chucky for those kinds of purposes. But at the same time, prior to that, it was a horror movie with kind of tongue-in-cheek kind of thing going on. But then it got a little bit silly, and then it got super silly, and then he kind of reeled it in when they started making new ones on Netflix and made it, a little bit more serious again.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got fucking Brad Dourif's daughter Fiona playing it in the show and in the movies now too. So it's just like there's so many cool things about Child's Play Chucky, right? And I think he's iconic enough to be fucking goated.
You make a good argument. I'm going to go with that then.
You make a good argument too. And I wanted to add, like, for the advertising, next episode of the podcast, we're talking about Child's Play 2019. Nice. And I was really disappointed to learn from Bobby that it is an android and not voodoo, because I want to see Mark Hamill do voodoo magic. God damn it.
They probably decided the voodoo thing was problematic, and then this would be more resonant, and it's not. It's just not.
I love Brad Dourif just straight face, seriously doing the voodoo spell on the doll. Like, he is so goddamn stone-eyed and serious during that scene. It's amazing. Brad Dourif's great. So, like, while goated won't be my pick, I can go with it. I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah. I mean, I was either between iconic and goat, but I'm fine with goat.
I think everybody's gonna know who Chucky is, right? Like, you're gonna.
I mean, he's iconic for me. Like,
but I also think you've like made arguments beyond that, because Dracula, anyone knows Dracula,
Mm-hmm.
But it's like you made a good argument for also putting him as a goat,
True.
Sweet.
So actually, the only one where there's two of them is actually the two Pennywise.
Oh, you did two Pennywises? Oh.
So there's Tim Curry and there's the.
I think they're similar enough, although I don't know.
Here's where I might get tomatoes thrown at me. I think the new one's better. I'm gonna be honest.
Well, here's the weird thing. Like, I'll get tomatoes thrown at me too. That old TV movie kind of fucking sucks.
It's fucking lame.
Mm-hmm.
But really, Tim Curry's amazing in it. I love Tim Curry. I love Tim Curry in everything. Period.
I mean,
which one are we on?
We're on Penny. Well, I guess we're on Tim Curry's.
Oh, yeah, I would say iconic for me. But I do have to run. They're telling everybody we have to go out of the neighborhood. So
all right,
I'm gonna go out now. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but it looks like we're almost done with the list anyway.
Is there any big pick?
I'm looking now. I think for me, I would say that Hellraiser and Freddy are the only other two that I would personally put in goated. So that's going to be my argument for those two.
All right.
But yeah. Anyway, I'll let you guys know what's up. I do have a stream scheduled for tonight, but if this ends up being something that keeps me out of the neighborhood like overnight, then the stream will have to get rescheduled. So but anyway, I'll keep everybody updated. So
stay safe, man. Yeah, please.
Stay safe.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, see you.
We don't need this to be the Halloween that the gas leak got
real method acting here.
Okay, so our next pick is the gas leak.
The great gas leak of 23.
But also, I hate it.
So
it's also scary.
So if we're dealing exclusively with Tim Curry's Pennywise, I love Tim Curry. I love the performance. The movie sucks.
Yeah, but I think even beyond that, right? Like that whole the first scene with the sewer, it's just iconic in of itself,
True, but I don't know. I like it better in the new one too.
I do too.
Same. I'm on like I would be down for like putting like iconic and then even like goated for the new one.
Yeah,
Maybe. God, like the second one didn't thrill me, but the first one of the new one, so good.
And even just as like an icon, like whatever I think of the movies, right? Either way, I just think Bill Skarsgård is perfect.
He's fucking great.
Have
you guys seen a movie starring him and I think I forget the girl's name or which actress it is, but it's like so it's a movie called Villains that he's in.
Yeah.
It's a fucking good movie. It's just good. Also, have you guys seen what is it, Barbarian?
No.
Fucking watch that movie. It's on HBO Max, I think, or on Max, and it's also on Amazon, I believe, or Shudder, I guess. Watch Barbarian. If you need a new horror movie that you have no idea what's going to happen, but you want to be sure that it's fucking good, Barbarian. Fucking watch Barbarian for Halloween.
All right, sounds good. I'll watch Barbarian. This is probably because he's Swedish and I'm Danish, and we are.
That's the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, blonde white people. That's it. Oh, sorry. Naked old ladies. Yeah, so are people fine with this? Like,
yeah, I love.
I've been good with it
because I think this one's more iconic, but this one is just for me goated.
Yeah, well, the Tim Curry version is literally just an iconic, just because of Tim Curry, in my opinion.
Yeah,
he's a legend. And then the other one's actually really good.
Yeah, this one like actually scared me.
Yeah,
it freaked me out.
I'm comfortable with it.
Yeah. All right, Hellraiser.
Oh, Pinhead.
Pinhead.
Ooh. Well, Pinhead isn't necessarily a villain, but he is.
You're true.
But
he is like he is. You know who he is. Yeah, he's like ultimate.
Also, I would say that maybe we could also throw the new Pinhead on here. But you know, that's fine.
I don't know. I think they're fairly similar, but they're both great. Like
the design of the new one's so fucking
Brad
cool.
Douglas
let's just do a collective
Jamie
Pinhead.
Clayton, both great.
Okay. The concept of the Hell Priest, because Pinhead wasn't actually his name until after the first movie kind of got that name given to him.
Well, he had such a small role in the first one, but it stuck around because, like, I mean, shit.
I will tear your soul apart. Fucking good shit.
So I guess goated.
Sure.
By the way, the only reason I tracked down Hellraiser back in the day was because it starred Andrew Robinson. I just wanted more Garrick.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Fair.
But yeah, I can definitely go for goated on this one because shit.
Yeah.
Who doesn't know Hellraiser? Who doesn't know Pinhead?
It's
terrifying, even though he's not really the villain. He's not.
Bob's like very certain to make sure we understand that fact. He's like, look,
yeah,
he's
not actually the villain. Pay attention, guys. Do you understand?
See, the thing is, to him, pleasure and pain are the same.
He's just doing his thing, guys.
So yeah, I mean, I think for all of us, Pinhead is definitely one of our favorite villains of all time.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that he's like pretty much the only one that kind of rivals in design and everything. The Xenomorph for me. I mean, still not as good. Still it doesn't beat the Xenomorph, but it's up there.
I mean, he's definitely a good like horror villain. Yeah, it's one of my favorite horror villains for sure.
The green girl.
Yeah, so Samara, or what she's called her. I guess that's the Western one.
The tape one. What is it called?
The Ring.
Ring. Right.
Yeah.
Ringu.
So I did not like The Ring, but I thought Ringu was really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if it quite qualifies to me as iconic. I'd go for scary.
I'd put scary.
I'd say scary. I mean, I remember at the time when it came out, it was definitely a trip to see her come out of the fucking TV for the first time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of, I guess lost some of its appeal, magic over the years.
Yeah. I put scary.
Scary works for me.
Yeah. Next up, we have The Strangers from The Strangers.
And The Strangers Pray at Night?
Yes.
I honestly have not seen either one of those, but
no one I haven't seen. Have you seen it, Herb?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
I think it's just like
opinion.
I think it's a solid, good movie. I don't know if I'd put the actual like icons in it.
Hold on.
Iconic.
Chat is rebelling. They're revolting against us right now. Or at least Greg and Lucifer are. I kind of agree. I think that Samara should be iconic. Just because
we are rating the icons, not the movies. I think we put a lot in the movies themselves here. But she is an iconic.
Well, I mean, and even though it doesn't do the same thing for me, you have to give credit to that first time you saw her come out of the fucking TV, right? Like you gotta put some weight on that.
And she's still lower than The Grudge, which I wanted because she's the
as she should be. The Grudge thing is fucking terrifying.
But we're putting her in the same tier as Buffalo Bill, guys.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like icon and icon status, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's some discrepancy, right? Like for me, like Bill, like Jigsaw and her are like not
sure.
And like for me, she's on like this level with like the Bagul and shit. You know,
she's like straddling the scary icon line.
Real quick, Lucifer, I'm like, yes, Tim Curry was great in that scene, but like I would put Tim Curry in iconic for his overall performance, not exclusively for that scene.
Yeah. And just you know, Tim Curry gets that placement just because Tim Curry too.
Yeah, Tim Curry is great in everything. Tim Curry was great in Muppet Treasure Island.
Yeah, I mean,
guys, holy shit! This reminds me. Have you guys seen that? It's unrelated but related. Have you seen that clip? I just saw it for the first time. Apparently, it's been out for a while. Of Tim Curry trying out his voice for the Batman animated series Joker, which he apparently did before they said, "Nah, that's not right," and they got Mark Hamill.
Damn.
I'm gonna find that so we can check it out when we're done. But
I've never heard that. I didn't even know he tried out. That's wild.
But I mean, so we could put iconic. I love the chat, but like I just personally disagree. But if you guys have been convinced, then
I'd be fine with a high scary.
But I lean towards high scary.
I'd say like I know this isn't proper ranked, but like I'd say top. It's like
Lucifer's coming.
Damn straight.
Yeah.
Samara pops up in Muppet Treasure Island. She can get goated. Okay.
Well,
all right,
all right, go ahead.
So The Strangers, right? I think this is just a good scary movie. But I don't know if I'd put The Strangers themselves as like iconic horror villains, you know?
I trust your vote.
But the movie's
you're on
good.
your own on this one, I think.
Like it's one of the better movies here, but it's like similar to like a Sinister, you know? I don't know if I'd put it as good as that, but
Sinister, then yeah.
Like it's just like it's a good time if you like horror movies, you know. Who's next? Le Terminator.
Ooh.
As a villain, like when he's
this is pretty much from the first one because that if you remember, the first Terminator is a horror movie.
Exactly, and that's the one we're going with. We're not going like action hero, Judgment Day dude.
And
sorry, where we're at?
That point, it is Arnold and Robert.
Oh,
Patrick
dude, no, go.
Ooh, you're going go.
Dude, okay, you cannot. No. I'm sorry, I will fucking quit this podcast. Listen, because you're thinking about it in terms of like all of the sequels where he's goofy, he's like, oh, he's doing smiling and hasta la vista. No, think about, cast your mind back, if you can imagine, pretend to be, you know, a young person, a kid, I don't know, when the original movie came out, and this fucking guy, he doesn't say anything, he doesn't, you know, I mean, he only says what he needs to. He kills without like any kind of concern. It's just like there's literally nothing that can fucking stop this guy. It was a slasher movie. Terminator was a slasher movie, and he was fucking iconic. I mean, but he's also better than iconic.
He's iconic.
Go.
You make a good case, and I also just thought of the fact that like how many of these guys on this list have absolutely devastated a police station?
True. I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's wild,
honestly, I mean, well, we didn't put what's that movie? What's the name of that James Wan movie? The recent one he did, the horror movie, because there was a police station murdered in that one.
I'm not sure.
I did not know about that one.
Well, fuck, what's the name? Somebody, guys, help me out in chat. The one with the girl with her fucking the thing on the back of her head. Malignant. Yes, thank you.
Oh, okay. The recent James Wan movie, Aquaman.
Have you seen Malignant? That shit is fucking bonkers, dude.
No, I've not seen it.
It is bonkers, but yeah.
So for me,
I've heard of it.
first of all, your argument rings a bit hollow because I do not remember it coming out.
Well, I mean, I don't either. I was not. I mean, I was like a child, little baby child. But like, I'm trying to say, I'm saying, pretend that you didn't have all the context of the. Never mind, forget it.
Personally, Personally,
Wasn't
I
that
don't
the
find
fifth
sunglasses and a leather jacket that cool. So, like, to me, he's just a less cool Jason.
It's
in
not
that
about
first
cool.
one.
He was fucking terrifying. He's this fucking hulking figure. Oh man,
For me, I can't put him above Jigsaw. But you know what? If you guys are 2 against 1, then I'm fine.
Look at this. This guy's never even commented before, and he's fucking dropping this fucking wisdom on us.
Yeah, I would actually bring up Jigsaw. It makes me think, yeah, he's definitely over Jigsaw. Honestly,
what you guys?
Yeah,
I can't see the Terminator being in the same thing as Jigsaw. I'm sorry,
dude. Yeah, you do realize, like,
you guys absolutely have not
Jigsaw,
seen me and my brother's Saw movies. Okay, that would have changed your fucking world.
I don't care what traps Jigsaw uses. Terminator is butchering him.
I think we've kind of hit this this generation gap problem here, guys. where Bob and I have respect for the fucking Arnie original Terminator. As you know.
Well, you know what? This is why I want to control the tier list. Okay, no,
I know.
All right, you know what? He's a goat. All right, I was just trying to challenge you guys, see if you made valid points. And
because look, I mean, I would trade Pinhead for Terminator. To be honest with you, if I had to.
Yeah,
like I'm not going to.
Really?
If
like you care about it that much?
Kind of more Dane talks about, the more I think about it.
Let me tell you, when I saw Terminator, the first movie, whenever I was probably 8 years old, and way too young, and it fucking freaked me the fuck out, but I also loved it. And then a couple of years later, T2 Judgment Day came out, and that was my absolute favorite fucking movie until The Matrix came out.
Damn.
Like nothing topped T2 for me until The Matrix. And yeah.
If he goes up here, then I'm taking Ash down. No, I'm joking.
Bruce.
All right, let's just move on before I get angry.
Okay, sorry.
Speaking of angry, here we have Freddy Fazbear from the Five Nights at Freddy's video games.
Oh,
the main reason
I had to see that movie this weekend.
Yeah, the main reason I put him in is because he's not like a live action person. He's a video game character, but the movie's coming out tomorrow, so
I'm not familiar. He looks
creepy. What?
I'll give him that.
I'm just gonna not put him.
Pink Bunny, I think you're thinking about T2. How old are you? You're gotta be my age. Like, if you were a kid and you saw Terminator, the first one, the first time before any of the other ones came out, it had to have been pretty fucking scary. Come on.
The first one is an action horror movie. Like,
yeah,
just rewatch
it's a slasher
that
movie. It's set up.
Yeah.
It's like structured like a slasher film.
All right, we have Hook Guy from, or the Fisherman, or what he's called.
It's a horror
I Know What
villain,
You Did Last. Yeah.
Yeah,
What You
that's
Did
where I
Last
lean
Summer.
towards it. It's like, yeah. It's
I'd
a
agree.
thing that they did.
All right.
Glad we finally
Next up-
agreed on something, Turf.
Yeah. Next up, we have the White family, the Armitage family from Get Out.
Oh.
Ooh, I didn't even think about them.
See, I think I find them very scary because it's just good old racism.
Yeah, I mean, I would
And that's
say
just
let's put them
scary.
at GOAT, but then that makes me feel weird to say that these white racists are goated.
The goated.
Pretty much just
Yeah.
white racist, yeah.
So
I almost want
I
to say
lean
hate
towards
for like a
scary.
different reason.
but then are we any
Well,
better
yeah.
than them? You know?
That is true. You're making a.
If
You
you,
know what,
hate racists, doesn't that just make you a bigot?
You know what?
Bigoted against bigots. You know what I mean?
I'm fine with putting them scary because racist people are scary.
True.
But that Get Out is a fucking great movie.
It is. Jordan
Yeah.
Peele has just been doing bangers in my opinion.
He's great. All right, this next one is for you, Dane.
GOAT number 1, fucking right there in front of the Xenomorph, because they are absolutely the fucking real villains of those movies. Terrifying. The fucking reach that they have, the power. They have fucking androids that they fucking put on ships that they can just like program to like, oh, you came across an alien life form. All other fucking concerns are out the window. Fucking bring that thing home. Yeah, bring that thing home. Fucking, let everybody die on board. Doesn't matter. Bring it home. We're a fucking corporation. We're the company. We own everything. We're Amazon, basically. So yeah.
Fair enough. Good argument.
I can see that argument. I mean, Jesus, is there anything more scary than just a really powerful corporation?
Nope.
Jesus.
And it does seem like they basically own everything at that point in the future,
Yeah.
right? Like,
yeah.
Fucking
they're Disney.
Musk.
They're Disney. Next up we have Leatherface.
There's a couple of really good movies, but
I'm just less familiar with this franchise, but like he's definitely in the top 2.
Well, being from Texas, I'm pretty
Yeah.
familiar with the franchise, and so like
Yeah.
I'm trying to keep that bias in mind. But I'd say he's he's iconic for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
But then, you guys can decide after that.
Goated?
I just don't know if I put it
prefer
on like
Michael Myers.
I don't think so. I don't think. Not for me.
Yeah, I would not put him on this level. I'd put him down here.
Mainly because he's got no personality or anything. Like
yeah, he's just like, but neither does Jason. And that's why he's in the same tier.
Jason kind of does though, in a weird way. Like how he'll stop and kind of like turn his head. Well, Michael Myers does that too, but like kind of cock his head and then like take off, and I don't know. There's a little bit of personality in there.
We already have the Michael Myers mindless killer in the Goated. We don't have room for more.
That is true. I'm fine with this. We only have a couple more. Next, we have the people from Wrong Turn. And I feel like we should just put them the same as
the inbred
inbred cannibals.
Yes.
Oh God, I feel like honestly, they go next to Lake Placid. I think they're kind of hilarious.
Like down into horror villain, I guess.
Yeah.
I was either this or just like next to Hills Have Eyes people.
No, because I mean, I think the
maybe they're
characters in
more
Hills Have Eyes are actually kind of scary, whereas these guys are just like serving the purpose of being the cannibal killers. Like, you're not actually scared of them. It's more like, I don't want to have that happen to me.
I mean, I enjoy that first Wrong Turn, but it probably not for the intended reasons. I didn't find it scary remotely.
Yeah, no, it's just a fun gore fest.
You know what? When you're right. It's a dime store water balloon version of the Hills Have Eyes. I don't know what the water balloon part's about, but yeah, otherwise.
That is true. Yeah. Yeah, it's not as good as Hills Have Eyes. So putting smack in the middle of these two.
That seems good.
Next up we have Wolfman, I think.
Wolfman's got nards.
He does.
I mean, I say he's goated for,
He's definitely one of the more interesting ones because he's like part good and part villain.
There's also not a lot of great movies with him though, too. So that's kind of sucky.
That's the interesting thing.
I'd lean more towards iconic.
Yeah, iconic is because here's the thing. Because yeah. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, are we including like all werewolves, like American Werewolf and
I don't know, Turf. What were you thinking?
The John Landis one from late 70s.
The Howling. Werewolf.
I guess
in
that's
London.
up to you guys.
The American Werewolf in London.
Let's just say the werewolf in general, right? And so that you can
I'd
kind
still
of
say iconic.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah. It does fall victim to. There's lots of different variations on it.
I mean, we might as well drop one more in a lower tier because I think we all know where this is going.
The Thing.
Ooh, God. The vegetable monster in that old movie was so scary.
Here's the thing.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Okay, I'm obviously joking about the vegetable monster. This is the remake, and it's one of the few remakes that is way better than the original. Yeah, I go for goat on this one.
There's 3 horror remakes that I think are fucking I'm not going to say that they're, well, you know what else we'll say it about this in The Fly, that they're better than the originals. Then there's a third one that like is not the same. It's not really a remake, but Evil Dead 2013 is fucking awesome. And it's completely different than the original Evil Dead, but it is fucking great.
Well, actually, I would argue that one's better. Although Evil Dead 2 for me was always the GOAT from that.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, because Evil Dead 2 is really the Evil Dead 1. Yeah.
But yeah, The Thing, 1982 is The Thing. Like, we have 2 John Carpenter movies in GOAT right now, and I think they deserve it because
I think
I agree.
The Thing is a flaw. It's a perfect fucking movie. It's perfectly, structured. The suspense. It's like, goddamn. I cannot. Every time I watch it, I gain more appreciation for it. That's what's crazy.
Yeah.
Greg, you are correct. Evil Dead 2 is a sequel, but they spend like the first 10 minutes of Evil Dead 2 kind of recapping Evil Dead 1. So if you just watch Evil Dead 2, you're fine.
They kind of remade Evil Dead 1 for like a good bit of Evil Dead 2, so it's kind of both.
It's like 10 minutes. They get to it fairly quickly, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right, and lastly, we have Freddy Krueger.
Oh, GOAT.
Yeah, he's GOAT.
Like
if you want to make
even with that remake shitty version, Robert Englund, he kills you in your dreams. Like he has his whole fucking dream world that is terrifying. Just the whole concept of him by himself is terrifying. Go ahead, Dane. Yeah.
Well, okay, so when I was at whatever age I was at, maybe 8 or 9 or something, when Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare came out, I was already fucking into the nightmare movies, and I was, I think, maybe 9 or 10, maybe something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom took me and my brother to go see it in the theater, Freddy's Dead, and I remember fucking just so clearly. We're sitting there, and the movie's starting, and then I feel something on my shoulder, and I just kind of look, and there's like Freddy claws on my shoulder. And it's like some teenager behind me that had his little Freddy glove, and I just turn around, I'm like, can I play with that? And, that just says all there is to it. Like I was fucking deep into that shit. I love me some Freddy. I loved how he fucking had creative ways to ironic things that have to do with your personality or whatever, that he's going to kill you. And yeah.
So growing up in the 80s, there are 3 iconic slasher killers. It's Michael, Freddy, and Jason. Now, my favorite single movie from those 3 is the first Halloween. My favorite franchise is Freddy.
Yeah.
Nightmare on Elm Street, 1, 3, and 7. Especially 1 and 3. Fucking great. Oh my God. I feel like 1 has this great premise, and then 3 is the one that really pushes that premise and really explores it in all the best ways possible.
Yep. Dream Warriors is the fucking one. That is the one.
Yeah.
Obviously the original is the original.
Yeah.
And then there's, of course, in hindsight, there's the gay one, which I kind of need to revisit now that I understand.
I need to revisit it too. I keep on hearing about the gay read, and I haven't rewatched it. But as I recall, 2's not terrible, so it might be worth.
I mean, there was some stuff in it, they did some really bizarre shit with the rules. So he literally comes out of the dude's body in the real world, and he just goes on a killing spree at a party in the backyard and shit.
It's weird.
This is weird. But yeah, it's the one thing about part 2 is that his makeup is fucking gross in a cool way. It's way wetter and just ew. But then they went back to a less gross.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think Freddy has made such a impact, and then there are enough good movies, even if they're not the greatest movies, like Wes Craven's New Nightmare. That was
I really like New Nightmare. Yeah. And then what I also found interesting about those 3 killers is that essentially they all spawn from Michael, but you have Jason, which is the cheaper version, but then you have Freddy. Freddy is the high concept version of Michael. We're going to take all the interesting ideas of Michael and boost him up quite a few steps.
Even though he did have some kind of lowbrow jokes and humor, he's calls everyone bitch, and
yeah. Yeah, no,
it's high concept but lowbrow. It's fucking, it rides the line. There's a nuance there.
And I'll be blunt, I've always wanted a Freddy versus Ash movie because I always want them exchanging one-liners.
They did a comic of it, but it's not the same.
Yeah, I used to hate Freddy because I was such a big Jason stan when I was younger, and I was I just loved the Freddy versus Jason because I loved seeing him get his head chopped off. But grown up, after having grown up, I'm Freddy is a goated horror icon, and he just has a lot more personality. The movies are a lot more interesting, and yeah, I'm fine with that.
Also, I just want to say, fuck them for making that remake where he's he's not only a child murderer, he's a pedo now too.
Oh yeah.
Look, I could get on board when he was just a child killer. Okay, he's doing that too. No.
But yeah, so this is our final rankings. Is everyone happy? Is there any like position where you're like, this should be in a different tier? Like,
no, I think it's wild because as we were putting this together, it's like, yeah, I think this is flowing together nicely. Let me go.
It's objective, I say.
Yeah, it's pretty objective.
No, but like general, like when I look at these, like if I go from tier to tier, I actually like I see like differences between them. Like, yeah, okay, these are all like the best of the best I can think of, right? And then like these are just not as good, right? But these are still clearly
really
like, to me,
good,
better
yeah.
than these, right? But these are still better than these, and it's just like, yeah,
it all works. Yeah,
it works. It works well.
And look, I'm glad that look
It
at us.
rhymes.
We have just 2 that we hate. You know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I feel a little bad for Birds being next to none because it's wonky, but man,
it's nothing against Hitchcock. It's just that
yeah. I could have put any one of his in this. I just thought it'd be funny to have Birds.
Psycho is way better.
And we gave
I would actually say that from what I hear, and I haven't seen it, but I would think that maybe if I did watch that Winnie the Pooh movie, that would go into hate too.
I think it would too. Everything I've heard about it sounds atrocious.
Yeah,
it sounds
it's really not good. And I was like, I don't have much of like a
no feelings for it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But it's like I said, like if any of you guys had watched it and like really hated it, I would have been perfectly fine putting it in hate.
So yeah, chat. What do you guys think? Did we do all right? Is there anything that stands out as especially egregious to you here?
Even then, I feel like Winnie the Pooh shouldn't be in. It's a horror villain, I guess, because Winnie the Pooh is not a horror villain.
Well, have you seen it, Turf? Do you want to knock it down to hate? Because I
have seen it. It is really bad. I only put it here because I think it has this somewhat interesting premise of like what's like the worst that could have happened after Christopher Robin left them.
Yeah, I don't think that's a bad premise. That just, from what I understand, it just didn't do anything good with it.
Good execution or anything. You know what? Let's do it like that.
Fuck it.
Then I'm gonna watch and be like, that movie was great. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, goated.
Now, is that the what is the guy in Scary next to the Sinister guy? Is that from Fear Street? What is that?
That's from Fear Street, yeah.
I like those movies a lot.
Yeah, and so these are like all the killers in those trilogies together in one.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, well, they were pretty obviously inspired by other stuff, so they don't get to be too high on the list, but they were done pretty well nonetheless.
No, yeah, they're good. I liked those movies.
Let me ask you guys about this one. Have you seen Midnight Mass?
I have not. No, that's the one from Mike
Flanagan. Yeah,
Flanagan.
It's like a mini series kind of thing from a couple of years ago. It's very fucking good.
It's familiar.
Very, very, very good,
Flanagan's
man. Good. I would recommend it. Like, this one's a very personal one to him too. So like, it's literally him having a conversation about how he feels about God and whether he even believes in God and spirituality. It's like, and there's characters that represent these different things. And it's like, when it started and I realized that that's what it was going to be, I was like, oh no, this is going to be so fucking clunky and bad and cheesy. But it's very well written, and he represents perspectives in ways that I didn't expect. Both atheist and theist and stuff, and it's also got some scary ass moments. So,
cool. I just wanted to double check my history on Flanagan here, but yeah, he did do Oculus, which was just a creepy fucking movie. And then like that Netflix game, Gerald's Game, that's a good one too, man.
Actually. Yeah, let's fucking, you know what? I'd said maybe we can do both. But like, by the way, next Wednesday, it'll be the 1st, so Halloween will be over, but who cares? Because the horror guru is going to be on with us. He was on with me in Perp last year, so it's 2 years in a row, making it a fucking tradition.
Nice.
And yeah, we're going to be doing some trivia versus each other, I suppose.
Yeah.
And then talking about I want to talk about Mike Flanagan. God damn it.
Oh yeah.
He's a damn good filmmaker.
Like he's killing it these days.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm actually like, it's not always that this happens with a tier list, but like I'm happy with these.
Same.
Yeah, so am I. I'm looking at it going, yeah, this is good. And I know there was some like disagreement as we went through, but like looking over it now, I'm like, this looks good to me. I think this is the objective list, guys.
This is, yeah. We should all post.
If anybody disagrees, they're wrong. Like, you're allowed to disagree, but just know you're wrong.
Yeah, if you guys ever want, like, are not sure how you feel about, like, well, where does this movie sit? Just this is your list, so this is where you come to get your opinion now.
Exactly.
And if you
why watch the movie for yourself and come up with
if
your
you
own
disagree,
opinion
then kill yourselves, you know, fucking rags.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is probably it for me, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been really cool being able to be here for like almost 3 hours. That's not
Hell
often.
yeah, man.
Dude, we
I
need
did
to start
wanna-
early because you were the tier list guy.
I did want to do a
Yeah.
quick announcement. Wick, you can get out of here first if you want to, but it's more for my channel than anything. So,
is it long?
No, not really. No,
I have 20 pages worked out for it.
Like under like a couple minutes.
Yeah. So, Force Diversity podcast is going on hiatus, guys. It is not going to be new for a while, except for Halloween. We're doing a Halloween special on Halloween sadism. So, you know, the concept of like, you know, these motherfuckers that put all kinds of harmful shit in kids' candy. They're putting, you know, razor blades and needles and like drugs. And in this case, like, let me see. There's one person put Marvel's Romulus in a fucking Snickers, and it's like, how fucked up can you get, man?
How could they do that?
Just putting awful shit in there like that.
Nobody likes Romulus.
Nobody
Jesus
likes Romulus. I know.
Christ.
Why would you do that? I don't know. But like, no, let me find my actual graphic for it. But it is a thing. We're gonna look at it, and then also just generally talk about Halloween stuff. Talk about, oh, Richard Roundtree died. What the fuck?
Hell
Look
yeah.
at that.
Oh no.
Holy shit.
That's sad.
Damn.
Well. Okay. Shit. No good. Not good.
B1 original Shaft.
So yeah, it's gonna be the final FAP for a while. And we're gonna look into how true this is at all, if it is at all, and you know what I mean. So
yeah.
And I think Bob expressed interest in being there. Do you want to come in on stream now?
Like I said, I don't have my kids this Halloween, so I am cool with popping in.
Sweet. Yeah, you gotta look. I heard that there's some kids. I mean, some kids are finding drag queen story hours in their candy. Like, yeah, I know.
Oh man.
Yesterday, my kids actually found a drag queen in their candy bars.
Oh my god!
They just, they came right out of there.
Well, I mean, Pista, that's why you got to watch the show to find out. Because that's what we'll tell you.
So tomorrow I'll have my regular stream. We're going to look over some Critical Drinker. And plus I have a guest coming on to debate morality, whether or not it comes from God or not. Which
how can you debate ever again after that PP Little shit? You know,
I know.
like, holy shit.
He did decimate me. That was
Bro, just take a loss, all right?
No, but so it's a dude. Is he from somebody's audience in particular that you're talking to him?
I don't know off the top of my head, but yeah, he wants to debate. Like I did a short a while ago about essentially how objective morality can't come from God because, yeah. Well, I did the short. I'm going to play the short beforehand and then bring him on to debate what's said in that short, and we'll see what happens.
What time is that?
It will start at 4. The debate will come like midway through. Because so we'll go into some Critical Drinker first because I haven't covered him in a while, and
I do still plan to have the Critical Drinker video out on Halloween as well. So,
ooh, nice,
awesome, yeah, really, fucking hell, really looking forward to that one.
Yeah, it's a banger.
It is a banger.
Fuck yeah, guys, good stream, good times.
Absolutely.
Look for some Chudpocalypse content some point soonish.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm also soon going to be uploading more on my channel. In the next couple of weeks, there'll be a little bit of Spider-Man content because I'm in a yeah.
Hold on, if you guys can give me like, I don't know, 30 seconds, I can have the thing I said I was going to get and then didn't actually download for the ending thing. But,
Turf, I'll give you some advice on how you can upload content faster. So there's this thing that lots of people do at night for like 8 fucking hours. It's ridiculous. It's called sleep. You can cut that down a lot.
That's ridiculous.
And you won't really be functional, but like you get so much more work done. And by more work, I mean less work because you're not functional. But yeah,
Hell yeah.
just do it way too much.
Just more but worse content.
By the way, also Friday, I'm going to be doing we're kind of going back to basics. We started a little bit last week. It was a little bit unfocused. I didn't really get accomplished what I was trying to. I'm going to try it again with a little more planning and preparation this week. So Friday, back to basics, talking about fandom, anti-fandom. What is it? Why is it that we make this content, that I make this content, that we came together to do this shit? I mean, not that I'm not trying to speak for the initiative, but I mean, it is kind of the thing we've talked about before. And then, we're going to just kind of go through week by week, defining terms. I'm going to lay out things the way I understand them now after a few years of doing this stuff, and just try to make a really cohesive series of video streams that anybody that doesn't understand it, then they'll understand it by watching. So
sounds good.
Yeah.
And other than that, I guess you guys are awesome.
You too, man.
Yeah, you guys.
Thanks.
Hell yeah. You guys are pretty okay.
Yeah, you're pretty all right yourself, man. I
You
don't
know,
care
in the grand scale of people, you guys are slightly above average.
I did, and I still do have some pretty harsh feelings toward the Danish in general. But you're one of the good ones.
That's right. I'm dealing with Danes here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Any Dane who is here,
All right, take care of yourselves and one another, and subscribe and whatnot. Peace.
Oh, is the stream up?
Hey, Batman! Looks like Captain Clown is really getting attached to you. You killed Captain Clown. You killed Captain Clown. Just for that,